anything I do, when I do hear my voice, it sounds like Fran Drescher, and it makes me hate myself.
Oh, I don't think it sounds like Fran Drescher, and I like your voice. It makes me feel comforted.
Thank you. You have an incredibly soothing voice. I've talked about it before. Also, the way you talk is sort of, it's like a pentameter that's incredibly hypnotic. I'm not even joking. I've talked to people about this.
Okay, like, explain it to me.
Like what you just did. You went, yeah, like, explain it to me. Like you just have like a very interesting intonation and an odd spacing between words.
Oh my God.
I swear
No, you're so right. Because I swear, when I do any kind of role, I have to look at how I talk and realize that, I think the way that I talk in real life does not come across good on camera because I put weird spaces.
But it's captivating, and it's like...
Because you're like, you think I glitched? Because you're like, she's having a stroke.
I'm on the edge of my seat trying to figure out if she's going to get the word out.
You're so right. I do have. No one's ever brought that up to me, but I know it about myself. I will pause. Sometimes if I've ever caught an interview, like if someone's been like, oh, it's on, let's watch it. And I'm like, wow, I pause weirdly.
You pause at random times.
You're right.
But in a way that I was thinking about it last night because I was like watching a lot of your show, talk show appearances and podcasts and stuff. And I think it's actually just you're thoughtful. And you just don't talk a mile a minute like I do and just like puke out everything. Like you're actually just thinking about what you're saying when you speak. But I was thinking about it a lot yesterday.
That's interesting. Well, I think a lot of it is from thinking about...
What?
Oh my God,
I made you self-conscious.
No, but I do. I do think... But I think a lot of it has to do with... I do speak fast, but... I do take more pauses because I do second guess what I say, and I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. And then what's really disappointing is that when I don't, I'm like, I took all those pauses and I regret everything I said, which happens a lot.
I took a bunch of time to think about it, and
I'd like to say something I regret.
How do we rewind that?
Yeah.
But no, there was something captivating about it. Like there's that book, The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. And one of the things he says in order to seduce people is to kind of talk really quietly so that they have to lean into you.
Oh.
And I obviously don't seduce anyone because I scream when I talk. I actually make them recoil, frankly. And I was listening to you last night. I was like, I wonder if this is like some kind of hypnotic, like art of seduction life hack. Because
I think I would be much more successful. I think I would be the Joe Rogan of podcasts if that was some kind of art of seduction. If I knew that, but by the way, I might now be. You now have just inspired me.
Here it is.
I'd like you to come on my podcast.
One of our lights fell on you, so you own my house now. If you want to sue me,
I like your house. I'd like to own it after you renovate it.
So I'm gonna jump around a lot,
please.
But the first thing I always like to ask people when they come on the show is if we're friends.
Yes, we are friends. You and I are friends. We are friends that we don't hang out a lot or ever. But like, hold on. Because I first,
But when we do,
which was today, and an event, But no, here's the difference. Okay, yes. Are you one of my closest? No. But
what?
But I could call you at any point or text you and say, like, I need to ask you something on the real. Like, what do you think about this? Yeah. And I can ask you something that needs to stay private.
Yep.
And it will. And if I ever needed you and I could call you and said, like, can you call me back? I know you'd call me back or text me back. There are people that in this business where you're like, oh yeah, we're friends. And like, I text them and I don't really know if they will, but it's because of your character. I know who you are and how we connect. I know that's why I think of you as a friend, even if we don't really get to hang out outside of like, an event.
Which is, it's weird. I think I feel very, very close to you. And there's no reason for it. It's totally unearned. I feel like we just, whether it's through the animal connection or just we kind of came up at the same time, like I feel very close to you and like we have the same values. And I actually, as I get older and as we have less and less time and we get busier and busier and our lives get crazier and crazier, I value more than ever relationships where you're like, if we don't see each other for 6 months and you call, I'm like, I know she needs something and I know if I need something, I can call her and we can just fucking get right to it.
Yeah.
No small talk, no pleasantries, no formalities. Like, hey, what do you know about this situation?
100%. And that's you. So wait, would you consider, are we friends?
I always ask this just in the beginning because
I know, and I'm asking you.
people in Hollywood are so...
I'm asking you now. Why are you not answering?
Truly my closest friend. I'm horrified to hear that this is less formal than I thought. You know, it's interesting. I have such a fascinating
She didn't answer.
journey with you. No, I actually have had resentment at you before because I think we should be like really close friends.
Oh.
Don't you think?
I think that we should be really, and actually hanging out with you today earlier before this was like, oh, I want to do this more.
And I think that every time we do hang out, I'm like, oh, like I always feel like in this business, women are like pitted against each other in a weird way and are made to compete with each other and are just, there's so much weirdness that I always am like, oh, this person probably doesn't want to be my friend, or like, oh, this person probably doesn't like me. Like I have a lot of that shit.
I have a ton of that.
You know?
I
just assume nobody likes me and nobody wants to be friends with me and like don't push it and don't try to hang out.
Yeah, well, I definitely I feel like that there's a thing of it's like, what are we going to do? Am I interesting enough? Am I going to be fun enough? Or do I have enough money to hang out with you? Am I as famous as you? Am I like, it's like, that's how it is for a lot of people. It's like, you know, I feel like, you know, you make friends with people and I think Instagram makes me very nervous about hanging out with other people. The way that they show their life, how pretty they are all the time, or I see their homes and I'm just like, oh, I just don't. I'm like, this is just it does bring up a lot of anxiety and insecurity, and I just think I also don't think that I could roll with. I'm like, I don't know what you're like. A lot of people are off like doing a lot of shit, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Can we just hang out at the house? Like, do you like that? Because I look on Instagram, it doesn't look like
right. It looks like you only want to be on like yachts and like huge. Like, can we just kick it on the couch and be boring? Because I am secretly the most boring person on the planet who pretends to have a really exciting life, and I actually am at the point where I don't even. I worry about being friends with people because when someone does come into my life now, I'm like, this has been false advertising. I'm really not that fun. Like,
well, you know what? I have a problem with, or not problem with. What ends up probably hurting my feelings more is when I make friends with people and then we have hung out and then they go and they do something or have a party and then I'm not invited and you're like, oh,
what?
You know, or I will say this, even though I've never said this out loud, but I thought of it. And I was like, it's one of those things where I'm also insecure about like the things that I admit to being insecure about, you know, because you don't want to, but like when you're friends with, you think you're friends with somebody or you've worked with them and then like they don't follow you on Instagram. Like something small like that where you're like, but they're following all these other people.
Yeah.
And then you're following, and then you're just like, it's a weird marker now for like,
yeah, how close are we?
Or, yeah, because especially if somebody is like following a lot of other people, not even how close are we, but I feel like, do you even like respect me or like me enough to like, you know, follow along with whatever it is I'm doing?
Even though I feel like you'd like me a lot more if you didn't follow me.
Sometimes I wish that I didn't even have an Instagram so there wouldn't be that marker.
Right.
It'd be like, oh, I want to be that cool girl that's like, I don't even have an Instagram or Twitter. It's like, I'm so mysterious.
Yeah, I'm not at all. I'm desperate for love at all costs and will broadcast every second of my life. It's interesting.
You make a ton of money.
That's correct. Isn't it weird how when a woman says that, they're gross? I'm not going to let that happen.
I didn't think that was gross.
Good. I'm not going to let that happen.
I'm happy that you make a lot of money.
Guys can say that. Guys can be like, I'm making bills, and it's like sexy and hot.
But I think they're gross.
Yeah.
I think it's hot when you're doing it. I think it's awesome.
It's so interesting because I have historically projected a lot onto you.
Please tell me everything.
I feel horrible that you have to.
Is this for real?
This is
what
real.
Have you projected onto
This
me?
is real. I projected a lot onto you because I think we kind of came to Hollywood at the same time. Don't you think?
I came in 2015.
What? Stupid. I'm no math elite.
It's been a quick journey.
Yeah. So whatever it was, I remember seeing you around and being so. At the time, I mean, I was a mess. Like, I was a mess. The first time we met or saw each other or were in the same concentric circles or whatever, I was such a disaster. I was like a completely unrecovered codependent, like workaholic, super insecure, hanging by a thread. And I would see you, and whether this is true or not,
please,
I projected onto you, like, you were always so together and so calm and so clear and knew what you wanted. And I was just like, always so insecure. Is something going on? Are we good? Yep. Okay. Sorry, I just have such bad ADD. I know, like, what's happening?
Right.
And you were always so clear and so confident, and I was jealous.
Wow. What year is this?
Were you any of those things? Or did I invent them in my head?
Well, it depends on what year.
I don't know, 2000. You were probably doing the show by now, your G4 show.
So, well, it depends on when it was. Because I could tell you. But it depends on in what room we might have been in. Because there were times when I started on G4, I had no idea that would be the key that would unlock, Hollywood for me.
Right.
And so I was just on it, and I had no real barometer for like anything that was happening. And I was just having fun, and it was really fun, and I was just enjoying my life, and I was making money. I remember I called when I got that job on G4. I remember the first year they paid me, it was like $80,000. And I thought, oh my God, I'm so rich. Forever.
I never have to work again.
I called my mom and I was like, Mom,
I'm done.
I was like, can I borrow your credit card to go to Forever 21 and buy $100 worth of clothes to celebrate? And with the $100 worth of clothes, I bought like 1,700 things.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's 50 tube tops.
Yeah. But like, I was just like, everything was so exciting and new. And like that first year did change. And I got paid more because the show was doing better. But if you see me during the early years of G4, I was like, oblivious. I was just oblivious. I was just happy doing my thing.
Yeah.
Had no idea. And then I started getting more anxiety when I felt that it was time, that the other things were coming my way, other opportunities. I was getting offered stuff and I didn't think I was ready for it. So I would turn things down. I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to, I would turn things down to stay at G4. And then my anxiety started coming up. But
it's so interesting that for a lot of people, they start out super insecure and then they get successful and that cures some of their self-esteem issues, or they look to external things to meet internal needs. They go, I have this thing. It's almost like you were super confident and then you started working a lot and the stakes got higher and then you started getting anxious.
Yeah. Well, the truth is that it was really tied to the fact that like, now I'm getting offers for things and I can see where this could go. And fuck, what if it goes away? Like I'm good right here and I'm happy here. And like,
this is comfortable.
Yeah. And I'm half Asian, half white, and growing up as a, minority female, it's something that, kind of was ingrained somewhere in my head. It was just like, it's stacked against me, it's stacked against all minorities and then minority women. And so it was just that idea that it was just going to be, maybe it was just too much for me and that I wouldn't be able to really do it. I was really happy where I was. Also, I will say at the same time, around the time that in my head of when I started getting anxiety was like 2009, right before I went onto The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. It was right before then. And I was in a relationship with somebody. It was my first time I was ever in like tabloids or anything like that. And that was a completely new thing for me. And that put another spotlight on me that I wasn't prepared for. And having, anybody talk about me online in a way that was like, before when I'd say something stupid or whatever. I didn't really care. And it was just like in my, in the G4 nerd bubble that I felt very protected in. And I knew those people and that's how my family was. And it just felt like, whatever, we're all kind of talking and I would, fumble around. But then all of a sudden there's this other, like the mainstream eye that.
A microscope, really.
Yeah. And I'm sure like looking back, it was like nothing to other people. But when it's happening to you, it felt like, oh God. And for me at the time, I thought it just made me feel like, okay, now I have people thinking about me in this way and they're looking at me and I think that maybe they think that like I'm not good enough to be in the mainstream, because I was still on G4 and which I loved. And all of a sudden I just felt like I wasn't like, if I had started off and like my first job was Mad Men, they'd been like, oh, she's an actress and that's it. But my first job was as a host of this video game technology network that I loved. It's still one of the most exciting times of my life. It's something I miss every day and something I'm so proud of. But at that time, it felt like the world was like, oh, who is she?
Yeah.
Like, you're the host of.
Yeah. You
like,
always wanted to be an actress, but you hosted something first. Oh, now she wants to be an actress.
Yeah. It's like that. I couldn't, like, it was just felt like I wasn't good. Like, it was that I wasn't good enough to be dating this guy that's in this mainstream world and this, and that's, and whether I heard that or I just felt that, I don't remember. I don't think I actually read anything like that. I think that in my head, that was my fear, that that's how people would see me, or that's what they would think. Or I think that there was probably just something like who the hell is she and how did she get him?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, I mean, because, you know, I'm a nice person.
I'm the best.
Well, just like, I don't know, because we met and, you know, you just like, you think like a regular, you know, scenario, like I met this person at this place, we connected, and that's how you start dating.
Yeah.
But instead it was this big question mark, it felt like to me. And then that created this, you know, insecurity for a while. And then I have to learn how to, you know, be in these. So if you ever saw me probably looking like I had my shit together, it was more probably me like freaking out of my head, being like, oh,
I was like, because now that I'm older and I look back and people say to me like, you know, I was always like, especially when I started, I was like quiet and I was like focused, because I was like, okay, as a female comic, I have to work twice as hard to get half as much, and everyone's going to think I'm fucking the more successful comics, and there's like, everyone's always going to say you're fucking everyone if you get any success, and let me prove everybody wrong, and I have to change. I had so much pressure on myself. And then people now, they're like, yeah, I met you 10 years ago and you were like very aloof. And I'm like, no, I was just scared. I was scared. I was terrified. I was insecure and I was terrified. I just think it's so funny to compare notes of what you projected onto someone versus what when I would see you at Hollywood parties or something, you were probably just like terrified and I was insecure and going like, oh, she's, you know, doesn't want to talk to me, or she's so confident, or with the stories we tell ourselves when we're so inside our own narcissistic fears and insecurities.
100%. And I also think that for whatever reason, there have been, you know, so many microaggressions that get embedded into our heads, and especially as women, that we are naturally pitted against each other. Yeah. You know, it's like if I see you, it's like a dog seeing a coyote.
That's right.
Like, oh God, this is gonna take me down. Oh shit. It's like there's somebody else who's doing comedy who's pretty and who's nice and who's smart, and oh, okay, so then there can only be one of us.
Always. Always.
And I think men are raised, they're, you know, they're in team sports.
That's right.
You know, I think about it a lot.
We get like ballet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be the soloist.
But there's something also I believe in the with microaggressions and actually like truly understanding like where the term microaggressions, you know, comes from, and understanding what that means. You can start to feed back into your childhood and realize like when you are raised a certain way, and we watch certain movies and TV shows and we read in magazines or books, and we get this thing in our head that our goal is to basically find a husband, find a man. Yeah. And that's what our worth is, where men have their own worth, you know? Like so many times I think women, I was actually talking to my girlfriend earlier today. She was saying, why is it that like I'm in these relationships and I feel like I just give myself so much into them, and then when it ends, he goes off and he does whatever, but I'm just left broken. I'm like, well, because typically a lot of times women we put our whole life on hold to be in this relationship, and men don't do that. No. And that's a good thing. It's a healthy thing to keep things going in your life and have your friendships and your work and your hobbies. So
I always say, relationships shouldn't come second.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but because what are you adding to the relationship if you don't have your own thing? But so. It's those, it's that, like, I think going back into the microaggression of like, so men like in school, right? This is going to seem like a tangent, but I know it's a very circuitous way to say this.
Podcasts are a giant tangent. That's the good news.
I talk in a very circuitous way sometimes and random pausing.
I love it.
But so, like in high school, you get a girl who was at a party and she hooked up with some guy. And the next day, everyone's talking about it. And they're like, oh, she's a slut, she's a whore, she's like whatever. And you see the guys are all laughing and whispering and looking at her. And then the other girls also kind of turn their back on her. That happens a lot. Nobody really rallies around her because it's kind of like, oh God, everyone's talking about you. Now imagine there's a guy and some girl takes a dick pic of him and she starts to show it around to her friends. All the guys somehow know to rally around each other and be like, man, fuck that bitch, fuck her, man, fuck. And then the girls are looking at her going, well, they're mad at you now. Okay, well, I can't believe you did that. That's really kind of messed up. And then they turn their back. And then, so it's weird that, and you flip it around, the girl always stands by herself, no matter which way you flip it. But the guys, they know how to like rally around each other and stand there for each other and protect each other. And I don't know why it's not ingrained in us to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we have to keep working towards. And it's a really big thing is that for women, especially in our position, we have to keep pushing that door open, but make sure we hold it open for the people behind us. Because I think the people in front of us, they're not holding it open as much, understandably, because it's, it wasn't really held open for them.
It's so interesting. And like, I think that because there's been such a scarcity complex in our business for so long, and because, I think for the most part, we're wired for harmony if there's not scarcity. If there's only one slot, of course it's me against you, And I think that, I also think it's important that women know that they can disagree and still be friends. That's been a really big issue for me in writers' rooms or in any kind of organizations and charity where it's like, I disagree, I think this should happen. And then another woman can say, I disagree and I think this should happen. Go, cool. We don't have to hate each other. You're not a bitch. Like, we can get through this. Like, we can get through this uncomfortable moment. It's like, I think we're so wired to not make anyone feel uncomfortable and to be apologetic that women end up being sort of like categorizing a disagreement as like catty. Like, we've internalized the sexist jargon of like, she's catty, she's a bitch. Like, we sometimes do it to each other, and I even have to check myself where I'm like, oh, that was kind of bitchy that she did that. And I'm like, I would never say that if a guy did that. If a guy was clear with me like that, I'd be like, oh, he's very decisive. And she sent an email that was very curt and I'm like, oh, she's being bitchy. And I'm like, what was that? Like, I have to check my own inner monologue about that.
I try to just, instead of correcting it, I just try to call men bitchy more. Instead of saying she's decisive, I'm like, you're a bitch and you're a bitch. You're all fucking bitches. Like, you're so bitchy. Ugh. I'm like, when guys are bickering, I'm like, ugh, cat fight.
Yeah, right.
Just turn it around.
Kitty likes to scratch.
Oh, it's that time of the month for Benton. Oh.
You also like have actually had a really big impact on me in a lot of ways because I, obviously came up in comedy, and what happened with you and the Brett Ratner situation and you're not, cut out whatever you want if you don't want to talk about any of it. When I was reading back through it yesterday, so much of it was like the nasty shit he said to you, the sexist shit he said to you, the humiliating shit he was saying to you. It's like, I learned at such an early age in this business, you laugh that shit off, you pretend it didn't happen, you come up with a witty quip to neutralize it, or you go back at them, you ignore it. I have learned that I have to laugh at men's nasty, I'm going to put jokes in quotes, and comments and pretend like it didn't bother me and crystallize this like outer shell of armor so that their behavior doesn't hurt me instead of allowing it to hurt me and saying like, that's not okay.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we are conditioned to do, because if we say, hey, that's not okay, they get uncomfortable. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. And then you're like,
now, okay, you're sensitive.
Then and you made things uncomfortable. And
you're a bummer, frankly. You're being a bummer.
And and you speaking up is not going to change the fact this person they'll still get their job. They won't be taken down. They won't be asked to leave the party. Everyone expects you to just deal with it.
Yeah.
And in fact, everyone's a little annoyed with you for making it uncomfortable. You should have just learned how to deal with it. And that's why when the Me Too movement happened in 2017, I remember I was on set in Vancouver, and I got to set, and these guys, all the male actors were like, "Oh my God, you hear about Weinstein?" And I was like, "What?" And when they were telling me about it, I just thought, I couldn't believe it was actually like that there was any kind of, it felt different. I felt like there was a reckoning that was coming. It wasn't going to be just an article and then people were going to move on. Because the thing that happened with Brett Ratner, the thing that was different than all the other people who've come forward in the Me Too movement is that with me, he actually admitted to what he did in 2011. And then he had to go into Howard Stern and admit that he lied and say, I lied about Olivia Munn. We never dated. We never fucked. I'm really sorry. And then he actually had some homophobic comments he made the week before. He was fired as a producer of the Academy Awards the very next day after he went on to Stern. And then I believe, I'm doing the math right, in 2014, he got a $350 million financing deal with Warner Brothers. And all he did was put his head down, say sorry. And it's like the formula for redemption that a lot of men use. You know, he put his head down, he came back up, was like, sorry. And then he aligned himself with some people that he hurt. He did something with Glad, I think, some commercial for them.
Right.
And they go, okay, that's great, because we got this big director and we're doing this and we forgive you. And then he just resumes his place in line. And no one thinks about that weekend that he had said these things about me and lied about me, and how I just, all that whole weekend, I just was like, it was one of the worst weekends ever of just me just hoping and praying and just keeping my mind going of like, how can all I wanted was my name back.
Yeah.
All I wanted was for people to not think that I would have ever slept with this guy. You know, because if you look at him, it's clear that if you're sleeping with this guy, you're doing it for one reason.
Yeah.
Because that's what he looks like, in my opinion. And all I wanted was my name back. I wasn't even hoping that he would just go away or that he would get fired or anything bad would happen. Because like I didn't think that I could even hope for that. I didn't even think that was like on the docket of like things you can have. I'm like, I just want my name back. Can you just not have done that to me at all? And you know, I got some redemption, but then realizing on that Monday when he had to admit to it, but then realizing that it didn't really matter. So then when the Me Too movement happened, now this is like 6 years from that time that happened, which is not that much time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people are kind of going after women for not speaking up. Oh, now you're speaking up. Oh, why didn't you say something before? Why didn't you say something before?
Yeah.
And I was able to say, as an example to all the women, why they didn't. Because look, he came after me. He said this about me. He admitted to lying about me, and you guys didn't do anything. So why do you think any of them would ever speak up?
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter when it happened to me. And at the time, I was like the first female correspondent on The Daily Show in 7 years before Samantha Bee, and then there was me. And so I was in a good place. I was in a place that women should rally around and be there to support. But no men or women or animals or anybody. I was just completely by myself, just trying to like get my name back. So why do you think any woman ever would have spoken out?
Yeah.
Because nobody gave a shit.
Nobody cared. And when it's so interesting because Brett Ratner, like, I look back and it breaks my heart to think about like all these men Weinstein that like when I moved to LA, it was like the joke. Like, you have to fuck Harvey Weinstein. You're going to go meet Harvey Weinstein, grab your knee pads. Like the level of, you know, desensitized the women that were older than me would just joke about it. Like it was, they just had to cope. And it was just like, you know, Brett Ratner, same thing. It was like, oh, he's scummy. He's this. Like, I mean, he said disgusting shit to me all the time. Came up to, he dated people I knew and was awful with them. And it's just like, oh, that's how it is. The fact that we have had to just accept it. The idea of it changing was like, didn't even cross my mind. Certainly in my lifetime that I would ever see someone like that lose power. You know, it was just like, this is what we do. We degrade ourselves. We allow them to say this shit. We allow them to like grab our bodies and poke us and like say nasty shit. And it's just like, don't be a bummer, you know? And then when I do talk to people and they're like, well, why did it take so-and-so so long to come forward? It's like, can you imagine if I had wanted to say something 15 years ago? Like, who am I going to call? I'm on 2 VH1 clip shows. What am I going to call? Like fucking Tom from MySpace? Like, who do I know? Like, I don't know. I don't have any power. No one cares. No one's going to listen to me. No one's going to believe me. They're not going to believe me then. They're not going to believe me now. It's just like, it's so interesting when someone wants to say, well, why didn't they speak up sooner? Well, they didn't have any power to speak up. Where would they have spoken up?
And I will say it's been very important for me as a silence breaker, and for people who don't know what silence breaker is, it's the people who have broken the silence on an abuser. The people that created this movement, the people that spoke out about Weinstein in the beginning that started this whole thing, they have been pushed out of their career. They never got their career started. They are all struggling and or have decided to leave our business altogether because it was that traumatic for them. It wasn't the huge A-list stars that said Me Too afterwards. Me Too is a very important thing because it didn't leave those women alone.
Yeah.
But those women because of their bravery to come forward and tell these stories now, and go to the New York Times and the LA Times and tell these stories, that's the only reason why we have this movement. And it's so important that people know who they are.
Yeah.
Because they have been pushed aside, because other big famous women are now, on the covers of magazines being called an advocate. And there's a huge difference between someone who advocates and someone who is an advocate.
That's right.
Because someone who is just an advocate, those are the people on the covers of the magazines, and they do not know the names. They don't know who Jessica Barth is or Carrie Clausen-Kaligi. They don't know these names. Yeah. They are advocates. You can be an advocate and you can advocate, but the problem that I've had that's given me the most sleepless nights is all of my conversations with the silence breakers. Now, I don't have that issue. Because of whatever in my position, that I get that credit. But I am not the bravest one out of all of them.
And I hear that. I respect that. However, having in the last month had to make a statement about someone, in my life that was engaging in predatory behavior, like I can't. You are such a fucking gangster when it comes to this shit. It is so clear to you. Like, I remember going when all of the stuff with Predator happened, which the irony that's what the movie was called, when the director hired a sex offender to be in a scene with you. Can you just talk to me about what happened between the time you found out that you had been in a scene with someone who was a sex offender to a 14-year-old, and when that call to the studio went? Like, what did that look like when you made that decision to do that?
So, since I spoke out in 2017, I will be asked by different journalists from different news outlets to talk to different women who want to come forward about someone. A lot of times these women are afraid that there's going to be repercussion or there's lawsuits, and so they want to talk to me. And I do a lot of those calls, and truthfully, there's a lot of the calls where I'll say to them, like, I hear you, and I'm really sorry that happened to you, but if he wasn't famous, there's not a story there.
Yeah.
And you made a bad decision, and I'm not saying that that it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
But you were of age, and yes, he may be 20 or 30 years older than you.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't go forward with this. It's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for this person, and it's going to be bad for the movement. But do what you want. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot.
And a lot of people don't understand the how complicated it is to speak out against someone you're dealing with, like possible lawsuits with blasphemy, defamation of character, slander.
Right.
Like, it goes on and on and on. How much more danger you're putting yourself in.
Right. However, side note that people should understand: if you ever hear stories that come out in news outlets like the LA Times, New York Times, BuzzFeed, anywhere where they're telling these, when an organization is telling a story, they are putting themselves on the line.
That's right.
So they have to vet out these stories so hardcore with their lawyers. So if you ever hear a story about this possible abuser, know that the story is 99.99999% true.
Because this huge organization who could face a massive lawsuit is behind it.
And if you haven't heard of anybody suing for defamation, then know that person is guilty.
Yeah.
Because if somebody was to say something about me and said that, anything bad like that, I would come after them for defamation.
Yes.
So I'm like, you can't prove this.
Yes.
And so far we don't have that. It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So, in fact, Brett Ratner did try to go after
LA Times.
No, I was part of the LA Times when he went after this woman who actually told her story first on Facebook. So she wasn't protected by that. So,
right.
And then what happens there is it's her own money. But then we did get her a pro bono lawyer, and they ended up doing something out of court, settling something. But other ones that you've heard of, all these big ones you've heard about, no one has been sued for defamation for speaking out. So I will say to women, whoever I speak to, I listen to the story, and I just think, like, there's a few things. Like, one, it doesn't matter so much if I believe it. I look for certain facts, like were you underage? Did they abuse their power? Did they rape you or sexually assault you in any other way? You know, and okay, then if it is yes to any of those, then did you tell anybody? Do you have receipts? Can you prove this beyond you just telling me the story? And if you can't prove it, you shouldn't go forward because they're probably not going to run it anyways because they can't.
Yeah.
And you are going to get into trouble. So, and it's not going to help anybody. And I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah.
But somebody put me on a call with someone who was telling me a story and about trying to this is my weird pause.
This is a very long pause.
It was another story. And what they had been around someone who has a lot of young girls around them. And I said, look, how old were you?
I'm sure I do comedy with them. Yeah.
I said, how old are you? And they said, 18 at the time this happened. And I said, and they're like, my friend was 19. And these were Canadian girls who told me that they were coerced to come to parties, house parties, by saying that they'll help them get their visa or help them get into the SAG union if they would just come to these parties. And it's really sleazy, really gross, and horrible. I said, but you were of age, okay? And did you work for them? No, so it's not an abuse of power. Is it creepy? 100%. Is this person, I'm sure that's, this person is probably doing stuff that, is not okay. But with you as the source, like, you can't prove it and you shouldn't go forward. And then she said, well, what if I know about a director who hangs out with a registered sex offender? And I said, well, what are you talking about? And they said, oh, well, this director, it's my director on Predator, his best friend is this guy who was a registered sex offender. And she tells me his name, and I'm on the phone, and then the person connecting me to this call is on the phone as well because they're like just, listening in. And I Google it and I went, oh my God. And then the reporter Googles it too. And I went, oh God. And I was like, and then the reporter's like, he was in your movie. And I'm like, okay. And I said, all right, well, this is another story. And I was like, well, I gotta, I have to get into this now. But thank you for talking. Thank you for telling me that. And I don't think that they even They didn't connect. They didn't know that he was in the movie. They think they were just kind of throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Like, I think they wanted to help expose more people.
Right.
So they're like, well, we know this story. We know this story. So as soon as I saw that, I went into a deep dive to make sure what I was seeing was correct. And it was right there, plain as day. And so then I got off the phone, called my lawyer and my manager right away, and I told them. And this guy, his scenes were with me. His scenes were, it was the introduction to my character in the movie.
Which you'd already shot.
Which I'd already shot. In fact, we were just 5 days away from me presenting at the MTV VMA Awards, and where they're doing a big Predator promotion. So we were super close to I think it was at 5 days. Or anyways, I know there was 5 days away from picture lock.
We're not making a documentary.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fiction.
Yes. So I knew that we were really close to, I think, no, that was it. Because it was on a Wednesday I found this out. And then I said, we need to tell them to delete that scene. And then my lawyer called them, told them this information. And I didn't hear anything for 2 days. And then on Friday, I had my reps call again and say, what's going on? Because she's supposed to be at the VMAs on Sunday. And if you guys don't take this out, she's not going to promote it. And that was something really important to me because, if this guy is using any kind of fame or platform in any way to seduce young girls, he can't do it next to me. I just won't if anybody is watching that thinks that I endorse this guy, I don't. Yeah. But because when you looked at his Instagram, he was in Iron Man 3, And he's got pictures on his Instagram of that. He was in The Nice Guys. He's got a picture of himself with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. And so if some young girl somewhere is seeing this, they're going to think, oh, he's somebody. Okay. And so I said, I won't promote the movie if you don't take it out. So they said, well, we're going to take it out, but we can't reshoot any of her stuff because we do a picture lock in China on Monday and there's no time to shoot anything new. So I'm like, so I don't get that scene at all. They're like, no, we're just going to jump in on your character on this other scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, again, you just take the hit. It's like, that's all right, fine. You'll, as long as he's out. And then I made sure to call my co-stars. I wanted them to know, all male co-stars, I wanted them to know what happened because the way I found out, I knew that I couldn't keep it under wraps for that long. And I just didn't want them to be blindsided the way that I was blindsided.
Yeah.
So I told them all. And then it was just like, I don't know if this is going to get out. I don't know what's going to happen. But they did, all the guys were really, really, grateful that I called and were happy to hear that the scene had been removed. And then I get a call from my manager and they're like, so we get a call from the studio and they're like, why is Olivia calling her co-stars and telling them about this?
Okay, this is gonna make me so mad. Because we're not children. What are you talking about? We have each other's phone numbers. This drives me fucking nuts. That's such a sexist thing. Like, look at women are spreading gossip. They're snitching. Like, what are you talking about?
It was actually a woman who called.
Well, I mean,
which is even worse. Like, what's even worse.
Yeah.
But so that's what the whole thing is so frustrating. And she says to my manager, she says, I need you to tell Olivia to grow the fuck up. Tell her to grow the fuck up. Help us get this movie out without causing any more waves. And when he called me and told me that, I was like, my first thought was.
By the way, first of all, and as I'm thinking, I'm going, oh, Olivia's the only adult in this scenario.
Yeah.
You're not the one that needs to grow up. You're the only one acting like an adult.
Like, I didn't put this motherfucker in the movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I helped save the fucking movie because if I didn't tell you, we'd be picture lock in China and then we'd be like opening up Toronto Film Festival in 2 weeks.
Which, by the way, there's so many people whose only job it is to make sure there's no sexual predators in the movie.
Well, I actually found out because Fox told us, because I was wondering what happened. Apparently in the state of California, you do not have to do a background check. It's not required. So they were like, that's not our fault. And I guess, you never thought that the director would put his best friend, who is this registered sex offender, into the movie. And so maybe nobody really thought that, but but it's still, there should be people's jobs to make sure that this is, because we had a young kid in the movie and then he has little sisters who are around and he's hanging out. And this particular guy, he did a scene with me. He was I was really uncomfortable being around him. In fact, it was like a short scene, like a 5-page scene or something. And I remember the director said that we should rehearse together. Now, normally you don't really need to rehearse like a small scene like that with somebody who's coming in for one day. Yeah. But I was like, okay, I'm always down to like want to work out the scene and work everything out. I love that process. And this guy comes over to the apartment that I was renting in Vancouver, and it was just he was unbelievably uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable being around him. He was, not leaving. He was there for hours and hours, and it just was so uncomfortable. But you just, I didn't feel unsafe, but I just felt like he was just super sleazy.
But your gut knows, this is why we talk about the gift of fear on the podcast all the time about like how, we are so brilliantly designed to be able to feel someone being ooky, but our brains talk ourselves out of it because you're like, oh, well, this person would never be working here if they were really a bad person, or I must just be being sensitive, or I'm just being dramatic, because that's sort of the narrative that we are conditioned to believe as women, that we're, overreacting and we're crazy and we're psycho. But in The Gift of Fear, there are these interviews with women that were attacked by men in parking lots and in apartment buildings and stuff like that. And they always say, I knew there was something weird about that guy. I fucking knew it, and I talked myself out of it because he offered to help carry my groceries and open the door for me. And I was like, stop being so crazy. He's super nice. You're being dramatic. You're being paranoid. And they were always right.
I had a male therapist say once that I thought it really changed things in my head to understand it and hear it. He said, women do have another sense that men don't have. He's like, and that's just because we've had to cultivate it and use it our whole life. He's like, so as long as we were on this earth and we're these little kids, there's always been an entire group of people who are bigger than us.
Yeah.
So when we're playing around on the playground and some boy runs by us, we have to think, okay, he's running towards us. We got to brace ourselves. Where he runs to another boy, he's strong enough to kind of hold himself and not fall over or fall down. We get older, like say we're 13 years old and we're walking down a dark alley. Our senses come up. We have to look at everything that's around us. But you have a 13-year-old boy, he's going to just innately, because he's grown up feeling stronger, that he can.
Or been told he was stronger,
But but they physically are, they grow up being bigger than us for a certain point. Then there's a point where we kind of get bigger than them for a little bit. But they are just, they don't have that fear put into them. That's actually a great thing for us to know. So when they go through that dark alley, they just kind of walk through, they don't think anything of it. But for us, our spidey senses come on and we've had to cultivate that. And so that's a really great thing. So we just have to learn as women that we have this ability and to really tune into it.
Superpower. And to not have to be shamed about it or stigmatized about it or pathologize it. It's like, for me, I was talking to somebody the other day about, we're in a pandemic and people are trying to tour and et cetera. And there was someone that I know that was asked to go on a tour and she just felt weird about it. And she was just like, it doesn't feel like it's safe yet. And it's like, that's all. You don't have to explain why. Just the answer is no. I'm really big on saying no to something. I'm not sure why yet. I can't articulate it. My gut, my inner child, whatever you want to call it, my spidey sense is telling me the answer is no. I can rationalize why I should. I can talk myself out of it, but the answer is no, and I'll explain why later, or my gut should be enough of a reason why. That's enough evidence for me. Just my body gets to make decisions now instead of my brain, because my brain will always talk myself out of any of my emotions, and I can, be cerebral and talk myself in and out of, bad situations. But my big thing now is just like, no. The answer is no. My body just said no. I don't even ask my brain anymore.
Well, it's important. The brain is important because, the brain supports the heart and the gut supports the brain. Like they work together. And sometimes, I think people, we can get into a feeling of nobody wants me to be afraid or nobody wants me to say no. So so we have to kind of really learn to decipher what's going on. And we have to understand that our brain is there to support the rest of our body too. It's not, it's not just a one-way street. You can't just only trust your gut. I think it's important that because what happens after a while is we get conditioned to think nobody wants to hear us. We can't say no. We can't say.
That's right.
But like for me, I do think about these things a lot, probably like more than I should. And I do think about, that's probably why I pause when I talk. I do think about these types of things a lot. I think about, so when they happen, like when this happened with the predator, it was like, it was the way it all went down, the way it was handled was like hard. It was really hard for me. And, but I wasn't, it was really hard, but I didn't feel blindsided because I've already thought so much in my head about how our voice is interpreted by other people, how our actions are interpreted by other people, men and women, how it is being a woman, how it is being a minority woman, how it, there's all of those things that like I've already thought. So when it's happening, I just kind of, I braced myself and was ready to kind of like lose everything for what I believed was the right thing. You have to, I truly believe, and I do act on this, I do the right thing no matter what. That is something.
Can I tell you something? That is exactly who the fuck you are. And it is so clear and it is so badass. And I really, when I went through something over the last month, like I very much felt myself, like I thought about you a lot. I channeled you a lot because when the predator stuff happened, I went and watched an interview you gave somewhere. I was like trying to figure out what was going on. It was like in the new, and it was clear you were stressed in the interview. Because I know you and I know enough to know that your energy is effervescent and you're playful and you're buoyant and I just remember you were like, and I know the press junket circuit, like I could tell you were tired and you were tired of fucking talking about it and your castmates were not supporting you publicly or, and you just went, someone's like, why did you do this? And you're like, it's very clear. If someone harms children or animals, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, what, you literally were like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's like the fact that it's, and you're an outlier for doing this. That's the conversation. That's what's crazy. That's what's newsworthy.
Yeah.
And I was watching you and you were like, why am I having to explain myself? Someone hurt a child. What, of course I'm going to do this. To you, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
What the right decision is.
Yeah. I mean, that's how my mom raised us, and that's just how I am. And, and at the end of the day, like, the fear of speaking up, what could I lose? I could lose my career.
Yeah.
I could lose any kind of income. I could lose any kind of status I've created or any kind of cultural currency. They could just take it all away in some way. And I could have nothing.
Yeah.
But the things that I do value, truly value, my family, my family's love, their respect for me, my friends, my education, my sense of self, my self-worth, that's not on the table. No one can ever take that away. So once I'm able to understand what that is, which was, years ago, and I realized this is what's important to me, then nothing's really scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that wasn't really hard. And I didn't go, during that press junket, when I was in the Toronto Film Festival, every night I'd go home and cry in the hotel room and have to wash my face in the morning and do it again, because I knew that it was important for me to, when I did those interviews, it was important for me to be collected, to not be angry, to not be emotional, but to give out the information and to answer the questions clearly, because I wanted people to understand why it was important that I was speaking up, why I wasn't creating a mess and I wasn't being dramatic, why this is just very simple. But also I wanted other people to be able to see that and say, like, oh, you can speak out without ruining yourself.
That's right. And without unraveling, and the message is not going to get lost in the delivery of the message. I'm realizing I have so much anger coming up about this, because it's like, not only do we have to be the victims of this, we also have to fix it, and we have to speak out about it, and then we have to speak out about it in the perfect way, and we have to be composed, and we can't be too emotional, and we can't be too upset. When this happened, with Crystalia, it was like, it happened as if the devastation wasn't enough. Then it's like the pressure to say something. And then if I said something too soon, it would be I didn't say the right thing, or it comes off defensive, or it was like just the mental gymnastics, it was literally like 6 days straight of trying to figure out how to digest everything into 5 sentences so people could actually hear it the way it was intended and not filter it through their. And I realized something, that I got to the point where I was like, you know what? You either fuck with me or you don't.
Right.
And there is no way that me being the person I've consistently always been in this moment, I'm not going to lose you or gain you. And if I lose you, I never had you, and you never fucked with me. If you think this is a controversial statement, we don't fuck with each other. And that's fine. And I got so much thrown at me after that. And there was such a crazy amount of negativity that came at me. And I was like, no, you guys never fucked with me. That negativity was always there. You never liked me for whatever reason. I'm a loudmouth female comic. We're the most hated people on the planet. I didn't lose anyone, know? Right. And I think that anyone you do lose when you're being your authentic self, either I've been fake this whole time, and I'm growing and changing, or you just never knew me.
Well, that's, one, I will say this, you and I were texting a lot during that.
Yeah.
And I was not sure, I wanted to be there to be a support for you, but at the end of the day, it's what's your statement going to be? And your statement was pretty close to fucking flawless, in my opinion.
Oh, that's very nice.
And it was, and I know how hard that is, and I think if I remember correctly, telling you, just take your time, because whatever you say, it's going to, people can wait for that. You really helped me not pull the trigger too soon, because I did feel this sense of urgency to say something. And my thing is, mean what you say what you mean, don't say it mean, and wait for the urgency to lift so that you can be clear and rational. Because it's in moments like that, I feel this pressure of
don't be dramatic. Don't be crazy. People already think women are emotional. You have to sound objective. You have to be composed. You have to be mature. You have to be clear. It's like,
And by the way, I know that that's frustrating for us to have to think like that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And we're not going to change the fact that we have to think about all those things before we make a statement. That's just how the world is right now. And there are some people that, in my belief, I feel like there are some people who are meant to weather a storm and to get through to the other side. And then I believe that there are other people who are meant to turn around, walk right back into the rain, and change the entire course of the storm. Yeah. And I think that's somebody like you. You can make it through and get to the other side and put your head down. And that's fine too. Like, there's some people that just aren't built for the controversy or to actually understand how it is to change a storm. And sometimes you get in there and you can't fucking change it. Yeah. And it's all that energy for nothing. But if you have the ability to, and if you have the intelligence to, and the strength to, and the support system to, then you got to turn around and you and go right back in and try to change it, because there are other people right behind you that you have to change it for.
That's right.
And if it's not just for you, it's for everyone else. And so when you do that, when you did what you did, you had to take that time. You had to take that time because, the people will forget how much time it took you, unless you took like months, right?
Yeah.
But they will always remember what you said.
You told me that.
And people what you said was, it was like I said, when I saw it, I was like, that's fucking flawless. On another one, and not to put her on blast, but enough time has gone by. And I think it's an important thing to understand, especially speaking about like what you did. But like back when Lena Dunham defended her, the writer that was called out, right? I saw that and immediately texted her. And I said, because I didn't want to go onto Twitter and respond back. I will go directly to the person. And I said, hey, like, I really respect how you want to stand up for your friend and somebody who wrote for you. And but I would encourage you to put out, to delete that statement, to put out another statement, because your experience with him cannot be compared to others. Yeah. And where you are right now in your career and the platform that you have, you are risking opening a door for other people to defend simply based on their own experience. And I think you should put out another statement. And she responds right back and she said, oh my God, you're so right. I'll get onto it. She did that actually the next day. There was too much time and she got, an onslaught of like, of like, what the hell? Basically what what I saw was a problem, which is you can't say that this, if somebody has gone forward to the, you at this moment in the movement that we were in, the Me Too movement, let that work itself out. And you saying, well, because as his boss, he never did that to me.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that's not going to work. And then the next day she did put out a statement that pretty much said, that.
You're making me realize something that, it's, I think that as women in this business, you're treated like shit for so long that by the time you're in a position of power, you might not even know you're in a position of power. And it took me a while to catch up. It took me a while to realize, like, what do you mean? But these guys I work with are so nice to me. And it's like, no, there's people below you that they can treat like shit. It's like, oh, there's people below me? I thought I was the lowest.
Yeah.
Like you have to, part of our responsibility as women, is to update our software as we evolve and grow and succeed and realize, like, if you do have power, you have to take responsibility for that, because I think as women, we're so trained to believe we're powerless, that it took me a while to catch up and go like, oh yeah, my experience with this person isn't necessarily everybody's experience. Right. Even though my dysmorphia is not an excuse to not know what the fuck is going on.
It's interesting. I think that's definitely something that people and women need to work on. I don't think I've ever, if anyone has ever in my life been like, this guy's an asshole or this girl's a bitch, and I'm like, and they're really nice to me, I never think, oh, I don't believe that. I think I've, for whatever in my life, I think I've seen enough to be like,
yeah, that tracks.
or be like, I don't, you know what? I've never seen that in that person, but I can't discount that because I know that people have so many sides to them.
Yeah.
And I would never discount what somebody else tells me.
Yeah.
Ever, because I can't, there's a few people that I would be like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But like in general, like everybody has so many different sides. And, it's also important, this is not in the same realm, but it's a little bit of a tangent, but my friend Bao Win, he directed the Bruce Lee documentary that's on 30 for 30. It was amazing. And he was asked a lot about the controversy with Tarantino representing Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Right.
Because Shannon Lee, Bruce's daughter, who runs the Bruce Lee legacy, was really upset by the representation of Bruce in the movie. And she petitioned to have him change it or delete it. And she actually petitioned and successfully petitioned in China for him to not have the movie shown there at all. Because China said, take out that scene of Bruce Lee or you can't have the movie here at all. So he chose not to delete the scene. Bao and I were talking about it, and I was asked a little bit about it, never publicly, really, I think, just like on Instagram kind of thing. But, at first he said that, Bao was like, he's trying to be respectful of an artist, like, allow Quentin Tarantino to be the artist and to do whatever he wants to do, because we can't start to micromanage what artists are putting out. I said, however, Tarantino did say that he researched by talking to people who were around Bruce Lee at the time, because he tried to make it as accurate of a portrayal as he could. So he spoke to people who were around Bruce Lee at the time, acquaintances or people on the studio sets or whatever, and they all said that he was this guy that was arrogant and cocky and all these things. And so just based on that, so now we're no longer talking about artistry. We're not talking about somebody's own depiction of it. Tarantino himself said, I tried to make it as believable as possible. Now, I believe that he was trying to make that as believable as possible. I think that he was trying to make an authentic portrayal of Bruce Lee, and by asking people. But I think the one thing that he didn't know to put into the equation was, if you're asking a lot of these white men who at the time, Chinese people were pushed away and we were not paid the same, and we were building all the railroads before that. And, if all of a sudden you see a Chinese man with confidence, you're going to think that that's cocky. You're going to think that he was egotistical. And so you have to put into the equation, when you have a memory of somebody like, I remember this guy, he was so cocky. So, yeah, but it's also because I was conditioned at the time that Chinese men should not be confident, and they should not feel like they can speak out to any white person out here. So, not really that. It's like there's a difference, I think, sometimes with like the racism and those microaggressions that are put into people's heads. And you always have to put into equation how people are seeing it and viewing it. So like when we were talking about the stuff with like, how you see things or how somebody else is seeing things, we have to understand, like, as a female comedian, you're like, well, a lot of times these people it's so much harder, right? But a lot of times it's like you have to almost kind of do the reverse math of it. Like, why are they like, because I don't think it's a conscious decision to be like, fuck you, Whitney Cummings. But it's like, okay, let's reverse engineer it and try to understand, like, why are you seeing it this way? And then how can we get them to understand, oh yeah, I guess I am kind of doing that right now. I think that's what people are trying to, is with the BLM movement, people are trying to, to say, like, you've been doing this.
Really unpack this like subconscious shit. Like, I remember when the Constance Wu stuff came out of people were trying to call her a diva and stuff. A friend of mine who's Asian was like, oh, that's progress that someone would think an Asian woman's a diva, because that means she's not being, stereotypically silent. Like that, she was joking, but it was an interesting, like, oh yeah, we're so conditioned to believe that Asian women are quiet or something.
Or that Asian men aren't, sexy and hot. And,
that's right.
But that's because of the microaggressions that are in, film and TV for so long. And so it's like, once you understand how it was, it's like, if you have like mold at your house, right? And you're like, I got mold. And then you're like, okay, you can take the mold out, but there was a leak somewhere. You got to go figure out where that leak is that's creating all of this. So we got to fix the leak. And then, and repair all the drywall, and then we can live in this house again. But until you fix that leak, you can take the mold out all you want, but that leak is going to bring more mold. So you have to like understand the genesis of it.
You are one of the few people in this business that I'm like, that bitch is not doing it for clout. She is not doing it for likes. Like, she walks the walk when no one is looking.
Well, thanks.
And it is so rare. Have I not said that, Benton?
She has said that.
Oh, thanks, Benton.
Do you have to hit the microphone so loudly when you grab it?
I want you to know that I'm here.
ASMR nightmare. I know I can't keep you too much longer, but I love your
We can
brain.
talk for longer. How long are our podcasts allowed to be?
I mean, Rogan's goes like 3 hours, but I'm going to have to stop and pee if we keep
I have
going.
to pee so bad.
Okay, do you want to pee?
Yeah,
okay.
can we pee and
you
come back?
pee. Okay, let's both pee.
You guys talk
Okay,
amongst yourselves.
Benton, you take over.
Okay, guys.
You take over.
You do, because we're not supposed to edit it. The people don't like an edit.
No, you're not.
She told me we're not editing this. You guys get on the mic. Be interesting.
And I'm going to use this crappy bathroom. Okay, we're taking a little break from talking to Olivia, and we're going to talk to you about my favorite product that makes me feel like a loved wife, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Number 1 meal kit in America.
We only mess with number ones.
Yes, number 1 only.
HelloFresh, it's awesome. It's a delivery meal service that basically delivers you fresh food right to your door.
I don't know if Benton is allowed to talk about the sponsor since he can't pronounce the word meal.
Yes, I can.
Meal kit.
It's a meal kit.
It's a what?
A meal kit.
A what? It's not. They're gonna think it's a mail company.
It's a meal kit.
Meal kit. Delicious, fun, easy, affordable meals, as Benton calls them.
Meals. I've been making a lot of the wasabi zinger salmon.
Dude.
I don't even know what a zinger
I'm obsessed
is.
with this company. They just send you a box of ingredients, and then you can just make it yourself. And
Pretty
it
portioned.
makes me feel like a magician.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like
It makes me feel like I'm ready to take Rachel Ray's
Rachel Ray.
spot any moment.
Rachel Ray's meals. There's something for everyone. Low calorie, vegetarian, family friendly recipes every week. I'm addicted to the one that is it's salmon, asparagus, and how do you pronounce it? Béarnaise sauce? Béarnaise. Dude, there's one that is squash gratin. Is that how you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
little
It's so
bits
good.
oh my God. I'm like completely obsessed with it.
Also, the mushroom ravioli stuff.
Oh, you can I know. Benton keeps talking about the mushroom
I'm obsessed
ravioli.
with
I
it.
haven't had that one.
It's so easy to make. It's so fast.
Great news. Contactless delivery at HelloFresh so that you don't have to worry.
Very safe.
Or be panicked. It's also nice to not have to go to the grocery store right now. I know that causes a lot of anxiety for people, at least certainly around where I live. You have to wait in line and you have to put on a mask. And also you can save 28% by using HelloFresh opposed to like grocery store shopping. Because when I go shopping myself, I overbuy and then it goes bad.
That is true.
That is
That's very true.
So this only gives you the ingredients you need so you don't have like food going bad.
HelloFresh's carbon footprint is also 25% lower than store-bought grocery
That makes me feel good because I feel like my carbon footprint has been pretty sloppy lately. So it makes me feel good that I'm using less of a carbon footprint. The packaging to ship your food is almost entirely made from recyclable and or recycled content.
Which is
thoughtful.
Fantastic.
Thoughtful, frankly. I don't have to feel guilty. I'm not as worried about the sea turtles.
I also love the fact that you can add to your order, so you can add extra proteins, you can add cookies, you
Like,
can add garlic
customize
bread.
it. Yeah.
Stop it.
Ugh, I just want deliveries of garlic bread. Pretty much
Honestly, is there an option for that?
all day.
Just a box of garlic bread?
HelloFresh is committed to making fresh, delicious food available now more than ever and has taken extra steps to keep its employees and customers safe. HelloFresh donated over 2.5 million meals to charity in 2019. That's awesome. And this year is stepping it up with their food donations amid the coronavirus crisis. Thank you, guys. That's super cool.
Go to HelloFresh.com/goodforyou80 and use the code goodforyou80 to get a total of $80
Dude, we're
off,
giving you $80 basically.
including free shipping on your first box. That's HelloFresh.com/goodforyou80 and use code goodforyou80 to get a total of $80 off, including free shipping on your first
You
box.
guys, this is such a good way now that we can't really go on a lot of dates during the pandemic to look like you know how to cook. I'm just
Make believe you're on a date.
It's a life hack. Invite him over for dinner. Order some HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Hello. So order some HelloFresh and look like you're a seasoned
We
chef.
messed up so many words in this ad.
I know. They'll fix
Meals,
it.
Rachel Ray.
Meals, Rachel Ray.
Additional restrictions apply. Please visit HelloFresh.com for more details.
He'll fix it. So you know that I really want to learn a new language.
Me too.
I'm so sick of English.
It's embarrassing to someone I know.
It's so embarrassing, and I hardly know it.
Me too. I'm struggling.
Does Babbel teach English? Because I do think we should retake
I'm
it.
tired of getting all my dialect lessons from reruns of Love Island.
I decided that I'm going to use Babbel to learn Swedish because I want to go to Sweden, and it's the most fun language ever. You know
I
how
want to learn that too.
You know how to say yes? Ja?
Yeah.
Ja!
It's the closest to Furbish, so that's why I want to learn it.
Furbish?
But Furby speak.
Bra bra? No, wait. Bra.
See?
No. Bara bra. That means how are you? Bara bra.
I'm good.
Ja?
Ja, I'm good. Ja, very
Like,
good.
it's such a fun language.
It is. You seem really happy saying
Remember
it.
this one? Hermardu? Hermardu.
That's how are you, but you're with joy, right?
No, that's where is Gerard Depardieu in Swedish.
What?
I just want to learn Swedish so I can get a date with Alexander Skarsgård. That's the real reason to get Babbel. Babbel is this amazing company, and I just was on their website today. You can pick how many, like what increments of time you want to study in every day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. And it is proven to get you speaking a language within weeks. They design their courses with real world conversations in mind, letting you learn everyday practical conversations. I remember when I learned French in high school, it was so useless because they don't teach you conversation.
They just teach you words.
Yeah, you're just like, zut alors!
Yeah, I can just say la bouffanda.
Yeah, and then you actually go talk to a French person. They're like, that's not French. Those are just croque monsieur.
Yeah.
You're like, we don't eat those anymore. That's like from the 20s. So these lessons are thoughtfully created by over 100 language experts, and their teaching method's been scientifically proven to be effective across multiple studies. Choose from 14 different languages: Spanish, French, Italian, German, or in my case, Swedish. Ja?
Babbel is available to you as an app online.
God Morgan.
God Morgan?
That's good morning.
Who is she?
That's good morning in Swedish. God Morgan.
God Morgan.
God Morgan. I think that we are putting like a German.
Yeah, I am definitely doing a German accent.
We are not the instructors of Babbel.
Thank
FYI.
Right now, when you purchase a 3-month subscription, Babbel will give our listeners 3 additional months for free.
That's cool.
With promo code GOODFORYOU.
Ja? Ja for you.
Ja for
you.
That's 3 additional. How embarrassing. That's 3 additional months free if you go to Babbel.com and use promo code
Ja for you. No,
Good for
you're
you.
going to confuse
Good
people.
for you. GOODFORYOU. On your 3-month subscription. That's Babbel, BABBEL.com, promo code good for you.
How do you say as a woman that you have to go tinkle? Like, what do we even
Ew,
say?
what is... That's worse than the yogurt on the tuner of the stereo.
I have to go take a piss. Like, I don't even know what I say.
I say pee.
I say
We said it.
I have to go use the restroom, but sometimes I worry people think I'm saying take a shit. Like, I'm not gonna take a shit. I'm just gonna go do number 1 in the restroom. What do we say?
I'm just going to take a pee.
I'm gonna go take a pee. No,
Pop a
'cause
squat.
When I
He's gonna
hear
have a pee.
when I hear pee, I picture your vagina peeing.
Is that not what
You
happened?
do?
Yeah, when pee, like I just think of pee.
I don't think that's a
Now you're thinking it.
I'm thinking about what your vagina looks like. I'm wondering if it's lasered.
It's very lasered. It is
Yeah.
bald. It is like a dolphin.
Yeah. We'll get 3 guys in here.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever had sex with a woman?
No.
Sorry. Some of my gay friends have. Innocent question.
Benton, we'll have sex later.
But I found out that there are 4 things that guys think about. The 4 top things when
Tell
it comes to. Well, you can guess. I'll let you guess.
About what?
About the vagina.
It's really far back.
What?
I feel like guys are constantly surprised by how.
What? Were they just sticking it like in your belly button?
I'm just saying.
I think they think that it's where the penis is, which is up here.
That's right.
But really the
I'm
vagina's
constantly
like back here.
how far back the vagina hole is.
What? Hold on, Whitney. What?
I'm just saying I'm just saying I think it's a common plot twist that the vagina is way further back than maybe you would think.
Yeah, that makes sense, Whitney.
Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of people think that
Benton, you can't be part of this
can't
conversation.
I've seen many vaginas.
But have you tried to put your penis into one? I think that our bodies were made that it goes like that.
I feel like guys always put their penis like in the front of the vagina and then you like push it in. You have to like thumb it in.
What? Guys,
Like,
stop looking at your phones and pretend like you don't hear us. Is she saying something that is accurate to your experience? I'm getting a no. No.
Okay.
You've never had a girl.
Okay.
So you've never had a girl thumb your penis into her vagina?
Well, who would admit to that?
I'm just saying, I feel like it's always further back than it seems. I even sometimes, when I put a tampon in, I'm like, whoa, that's so much further back than I thought it was going to be.
Whitney,
Is my vagina deformed?
Whitney, it's not deformed. It's just really far back. Is your butthole on your back?
I was going to say.
Is everything just kind of rotated?
My vagina and butthole are very close.
You just need a good chiropractor to get your alignment back. You just need to rotate it. Oh my God, Whitney.
Okay, so your vagina is very far forward.
No. My vagina is in a normal vagina place. My vagina is like right where it should be.
I ride horses. Maybe it's been pushed back. I don't know. Maybe I have some kind of
you
injury.
You do. You have like a misalignment in your like your T1, 5'8",
Yes.
whatever spinal.
Well, okay.
Okay, so I want you to give me 4. So one is that.
Hold on. I'm actually really now sort of upset.
No, your vagina is in a normal place.
Don't you think?
It's very
You've seen my vagina a
Benton.
lot. Benton's seen my vagina a lot.
But have you seen the hole? Have you got in there?
I don't think so.
No, you've seen the top of her vagina,
close
which is where he
enough.
thinks the hole is.
Sometimes when I see my friends' vaginas, I'm like, my vagina doesn't look like that.
What do your friends? You mean in a
Your
good
vagina
way?
looks very-
Wait, hold on. In a good way or a bad way?
In a
way, you're like, thank God.
one time I saw a friend of mine's vagina that was like, oh, I want that one. It was like it was like it was
Wait, what was it?
How do you say? It was like beep. It was like a tiny little like a U shape with just a line in it, and that was it. There was no like
I would say your vagina is 10 out of 10. It's a very nice vagina.
Thank you, I appreciate
Describe it.
I
Take your time.
But
Draw it.
I have like a labia, but coming out. Do you know what I mean?
Barely.
Really?
Yeah.
But it hides when you come close. It recoils up into my body. I think that's intentional so that you can't sue
Oh
me.
my God.
Like a turtle head.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a roly-poly that just sort
just
of like
rolls
curls
up.
I like that just the labia being hidden keeps you from being sued. Like just that one thing.
So, okay, you were asking me the 4 things that guys think about
That I have been
vaginas?
told that guys think about vaginas.
Okay.
Yours it's not as far back.
Yeah,
That's
that
one.
I just learned a lot.
It's size.
We all learned a lot.
I mean, too much, frankly. Okay, the 4 things people think about vaginas.
No, people, guys.
Guys,
Not people, guys. Very similar.
that they are
Size, right? Size has to be one of them.
that they stretch. Oh. I'm so proud of myself.
Well, I wouldn't say stretch.
They don't stretch. Like
I'd say the opposite stretch, how tight it is. What
Oh,
is
that's what-
wrong with
That's
you?
what I meant by size.
wait. What's the game?
The game is, I have been told by guy friends, there are 4 things that, well, I deduce them. They're like, these are the things that the top things off the top of their head. They're like when they think about when they're with a girl for the first time sexually and with her vagina. What are the 4 things?
I thought the 4 things that surprised them, and I was like, how tight it is. I don't think guys have ever been surprised by that with me, but congratulations. I see. Okay, so the 4 things they think about: tightness, baldness.
Wait, hold on. What did you think it was?
Like things that surprise them about
Like,
the vagina.
How much yours stretches out? Holy crap! Oh my God! They're like, Whitney!
No.
Benton, have you swam?
Some are still lost in there. We have to go find them.
There is a common misconception that women's vaginas can like stretch if they like date a guy with a big dick. Her vagina is going to be like bigger.
No, the average vagina depth is 7 inches. I wanted to be a neonatal surgeon so bad.
Benton was almost a neonatal surgeon. Well, you work with me now, so similar. You deal with childish, naked people in bathtubs a lot.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so the 4 things that guys like think about when they...
Basically the checklist for a great vagina.
Okay, now I understand the game. Bald, tiny, like wet, squirter. I do not squirt, so fuck all y'all hydrated bitches out there.
Uh-huh.
And is a butthole.
What?
I mean, they'd rather go for your butthole.
Oh. It's lasered, tightness, wetness, and temperature. Girls' vaginas are different. Some of them are a lot hotter. Mine's apparently very hot, like a
easy bake
jacuzzi.
oven.
Because they're like this. When you get into a hot, this will explain
Now
to
I
me.
have to worry about the temperature of my vagina. I worry
Well,
about
you don't have to worry about it because it just is that way or not. It's your body. So and then the way it's explained to me is like, you want it to be hotter because it's like if you go into a pool, you want it to, if it's room temperature, you're like, okay, but if you go into something that's hot, it feels really good.
Hotter is better?
Yeah, because it feels like it's hotter. It's like the way it's described to me. It's like
A hot pocket.
like you don't want to he puts his dick into something that's like room temp or his dick temp. His dick
Yeah.
temp. It's like okay, but it's like warm and hot.
But I don't want
Guys, guys, wait, hold on. Temperature's a thing, right?
What you're saying sounds right.
I would never want. I don't think about the temperature of dicks. Do you?
No, because I think they're inserting it, so it's different. But I guess I've never had a cold
My
dick.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that
My
be something?
vagina is not particularly like warm and welcoming. I don't think. I think it's lukewarm and kind of harsh conditions. Not particularly welcoming emotionally or otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Treacherous
So it's
terrain.
it's like parts of Canada.
Yeah, like it is like Winnipeg. My vagina is like the Winnipeg of vaginas. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's
Mine's like Turks and Caicos.
I bet. I actually bet. Are you fully lasered?
Fully lasered. I'm
too.
like pretty much from armpits down.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know why more girlfriends don't do. In fact, after I told my girlfriend, my best friend, this story,
Yeah.
she went the next day and started lasering everything off.
But I got laser before they came up with the new one that didn't hurt. I did the one that was little flames, like zink.
Yeah, I did that when you had to do the back. You had to. They gave you the numbing cream you put on the night before. And
remember.
You put the Saran wrap on top of
I
it.
remember, I remember.
And you come to the doctor's office with your vagina like Saran wrapped, and and then it
having
still hurt,
flashbacks.
and it still really hurt. Now, but then I had to do I only did a certain amount of rounds because it was so painful.
So painful.
But then I went and now they have like the really good one where they do the cool blast.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
And it's amazing.
They
And
now
so-
see we are old enough to remember when you got lasered and it was just fire. They would just set your vagina on fire. And now they just invented this little thing. It's like cold, hot, and you can barely feel it.
And I'm just gonna say this. I suggest lasering for girls, not for the guys. It's just nice. It's just nice. You don't have to deal with like ingrown hair issues. You don't ever have. It's just nice. Like
That's
my leg hair. It's
That's
just
right.
nice.
Me too.
I just love it.
I still though get hairs on my toes. And I didn't think to get my toes lasered.
You didn't?
No, it annoys me because then I have to shave my stupid toes.
Well, go get a little little shot.
It feels stupid. It feels stupid to go to just like, can I get my toes lasered?
They'd be like, okay, they'd get it. They'd be like, yeah,
like fair enough.
yeah. Are they right now?
I do get I get like hairs around my ankles and
You
then
do
my
have to do
toes.
spot treatment. You know, like they go in, they go get a couple spots.
I know. I think I shaved them already. See, that's a cut from shaving my toe.
Oh, but I see some. I see the hair.
stupid?
I see
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some couple.
Isn't
hair
that
ones.
stupid? And guys are into sucking toes. I'm not into that shit. Get the fuck away from my feet. I don't like feeling self-conscious, even if your fetish is your fetish.
I've only had like a couple guys do that.
I'm good.
Well, it's also like weird because you're supposed to be like, am I supposed to be? Do I have to participate and act like I like
will
this? Do I have to be part of this? Like,
I'm ticklish. I'm gonna kick you in the mouth, dude. I can't. I'm too ticklish. And there's no way.
I don't like being tickled, but that didn't tickle me. It just felt like, it just feels like
You know what it
like,
is?
I don't know.
I've lost respect for you. Why are you?
I don't go that far.
You're degrading yourself. Why are you licking my feet? They're fucking gross.
But they might not be doing it to degrade themselves. They may be doing it because there's something about, I can't.
I do not have good feet. I do not have like sexy. You probably have sexy feet. I'm looking at them. You have gorgeous feet. I would put your feet in my mouth to this point. They're unbelievable.
Well, they're lasered.
I don't like any kind of guy degrading themselves in bed. I'm very beta in bed. I'm not.
Do you do role play or anything like that?
Nope. I don't act on my days off.
Do you make any noise?
She means beta like the fish. She'll find herself. She has to be alone.
I want to be alone in a bowl.
Do you make any? Do you like to go down on guys?
Yes, but I don't. I'm not a super big fan of guys going down on me.
Because most of them aren't very good at it.
That's right. And I don't want to be a showrunner on my nights off.
I mean, there's a lot of pretending.
Mm-hmm,
like I've actually thought about this so many times about. Swear to God, I'm like, I regret every time I have fake moaned because these guys are out there feeling so fucking confident. I have this one boyfriend in particular that was just the worst. The worst at having sex. In fact, he went down on me twice during the years we were together. And I asked him once, I said, why don't you ever go down? But by the way, I don't want you to. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wondering why, because I feel like most guys, I can't get out of my vagina. And I'm like, you have to fake it all the time. So he was like...
because it's so fucking warm.
It is. He said, he's like, well, I just haven't had a lot of, experience doing it. And I was like, oh. And that's when I was also like, he may like Benton instead, that might be his kind of game instead.
No.
Right.
But also, it was like every time we had sex, every time, dark, spooning from behind. Every time.
Dark, emotionally dark, or it was just dark?
Well, it was a dark relationship.
Both.
But it also lights out. Lights out.
Lights
dark.
out.
It was like swooning from behind. So it's like you don't have to see my face. You don't have to see that as a girl.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I didn't put all those pieces together until later.
Been there.
And then you're like, but I mean, first of all, I got evidence about something, and then I put the other pieces together. I was like, oh, that's what all that.
That's what that was. Look, I have dated guys that are gay, straight up.
That you knew were gay?
That's my demo. Didn't know at the time. Did
they know?
Yes, I think. I think this one in particular, I think had like repressed it and just was like disassociating in some way. And it was the only guy I've ever dated who was like adamantly would not have sex with me on my period. And it was like so weird. That was like how, and I remember at the time like being shamed for it. Oh, that's the lip balm you got me, Benton.
Lineage.
It's the best because it's actually a lip mask.
Oh, good, yeah.
Koreans know what they're doing.
I have kept Olivia here so long her lips are drying up.
No, this is
not
fun.
Not the ones down low. We know those are set.
I think everybody else. You guys happy here? You guys want to go home to your loved ones? Because I'm fine here.
She is my loved one.
We're doing this forever.
I'm moving in.
So we basically I remember calling a friend of mine and like I was like embarrassed and like ashamed, and he had actually shamed me into believing like I was like gross. It was just this, and I didn't realize till later. I was like, oh no, you just are not into women.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just a little blood doesn't.
Which is embarrassing.
It is a hassle. It is pretty gay to be in love with women. I mean, it's like
no, it's embarrassing to like men.
My girlfriend. I told her, like, I don't know how many years ago this was, but I told my girlfriend, I was like, well, he wants to like have sex on my period. And she's like, I think that's so fucking hot. I was like, why? Yeah. She's like, because he means he's not grossed out by things and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. And then since then it'd been like I'm not somebody that's going, will he? Well, I wasn't doing what you were doing. Like, why is he? I don't think about it. I'm always like, yeah, some people, whatever. But the guys that do, which is pretty much a lot of guys, almost all the guys, I'm always like, oh, I have, just because she put that in my head, that like, that's like, I get a little bit more respect for him.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
But I don't know if I was a guy, I'd want to have sex in someone's period. But I guess, I don't ever have to think about that.
As that studio head said, grow up. Grow the fuck up, everybody. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple other questions. I know I have to let you go at some point. I'm being very selfish.
I'm okay. And I think we're just going to, because I know that you can't, like, it's an unedited thing.
Yeah.
I really am interested to see how long this can go.
Oh, we can do, what's the longest we did? I think Dave Grohl was almost 3 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours?
Right, with not Dave Grohl, but the longest you did.
And you, Sedaris?
That was, Kat was 4 hours, right?
Kat Dennings was 4 hours
on Zoom?
We did 2, and then she did 2.
I think we also forgot we were podcasting and we just started hanging.
And then you just put out the whole thing like that. Mm-hmm. I do like a long podcast though. If it's people that's interesting, and I'm like, oh, it's only this. I'm like, I want it to keep going.
It's a road trip. You come back to it. You do what you gotta do. I want to talk to you about red flags because on this podcast, we always talk about red flags. What are some red flags for you if you're in relationships, friendships also, I think is important. I think we have to be careful with, for me, like, for example, one that I was thinking about this week of a red flag is a lot of time we think about like, oh, they act like this or they do this or they've been married this many times or whatever you think. I'm learning that for me, my red flags have to do with the way I feel around the person. But what side of me do they bring out? Like if I meet somebody and I instinctively start performing or trying to be too funny or trying to take care of them, that's a red flag for me because whatever's going on with them is triggering some old child. I'm recreating some childhood circumstances with them where I feel the need to be like unctuous and caretaking and like walk on eggshells with them. And I don't have to know why, but I just have to. I know me walking on eggshells.
No, that's so real because when I first met you, do you remember this? We were in the green room and I was just sitting there like waiting and you went, I love that you don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, to be in silence with somebody.
For Benton, I mean, that's part of the reason we are so close is he instantly, and sometimes I get insecure and he'll just walk in and not say anything. And I'm like, why aren't you saying good morning? And I'll just get into like an insecure spiral with him.
Right. Well, you're doing yoga on the phone, so I didn't want to interrupt.
But it is to be able to be secure enough with yourself and the other person to be able to just sit in silence and just like not make like bullshit small talk is so valuable to me. That's to me just like so authentic.
Yeah. So my it's hard to say. Like it's interesting. That's a great red. Like I think a red.
It can be as small as like.
Well, a red flag in a relationship if the guy doesn't love his mother or a mother figure.
Great.
Don't never date a guy who doesn't love his mother or a mother figure.
Great.
Like, because he will not love you.
I love red flags.
That's a red flag.
People that can't be alone is a big red flag for me. People who call everybody their best friend is a red flag for me.
People who are really attached to a fight about something but not actually fixing a problem.
Yes, people that want to be in the problem and not in the solution.
Yes.
Which and this is a lot of like friendships. People, it's taken me a long time to realize that a lot of people are comfortable in drama, are comfortable in dysfunctional situations. And when we do work on ourselves, that doesn't mean everyone around us are doing the same congruent work. A lot of people want to be in adrenaline. They want to be in drama. It makes them feel important. They want to people please. They want to rescue someone. They want to clean up a mess. That's their definition of love.
Especially right now with all the social movements happening, a lot of people are more excited to fight online than to actually solve the problem.
Yeah, for sure. But it's in a lot of friendships when I meet a new potential friend and they're like, I'm in this relationship and he does this and I'm like, this is going to be exhausting.
Right.
You want to be in something dysfunctional. You don't want to actually solve it. You don't want to actually leave. You want to stay in it. I've been there. I know what that is. You don't actually leave until you're ready. But I'm not going to be able to be a good friend to you by just enabling this and listening to it. And, I'm going to end up judging you. And it's just not a good match. We're in different places.
For the friend.
For the friend.
I love red flags, but it's like interesting, like hearing your red flags. Like these are like, I'm like, because I love seeing them. I've had a bad habit of, like in my past, like seeing red flags in relationships and just continuing to walk. I'm like, oh, that's a fire.
I can contort a red flag. I can like paint a red flag white. I can I can see a red flag and say, okay, this person hates their mom. And I can turn it into, you need to be more forgiving and more compassionate. And this person is going to make you better. And this person is a trauma survivor. And you're going to heal the rift with his mom. You're going to fix his relationship with his mom.
Man.
And I will micromanage and martyr and think I need to repair their relationship instead of just going, no, just turn around, make a U-turn, get the fuck out of here.
Mine is that I think to myself, you know what? I fuck up and I mess up.
Yep.
And you know what? I'd like somebody to give me another shot.
Which is true. And that's a healthy attitude.
But the thing is, I find with people is like, especially with the guys in the past where they mess up and I forgive them too fast. Because I go through that. I'm like, okay, I want to, and like they haven't really learned their lesson enough. And they're kind of like this reset where they kind of would go back. There's a girlfriend that I liked. And she's in our business, and we finally had dinner and hanging out at her house, and then she was like telling me about her life, like really got really into it, which is totally cool. I like getting right into things. But then she says to me, because of things that happened to me when I was younger, like I'm just such a big flirt. Like I flirt with everyone. Like I just can't help it. Like all my friends, like my friends are used to it because I flirt with their husbands and their boyfriends. It's just like how I am. I feel like I get validated by my sexuality, and it's nothing like not to worry about, but like it's just something that I do. But like I would never act on it. And I was just like, I never hung out with that girl again. After this, I'll tell you guys who she is. But I was just like, it was just like, I was like, people who, that's a red flag. People who admit, because there's this great philosopher, Francois de Rochefoucauld. He says, and I said that fast because I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. Like ran through that run real fucking quick because I'm pretty sure I butchered it. But he's like, we often admit to our small faults to convince others we have no bigger ones. So if somebody right off the bat is going to be like, so I flirt with your boyfriend or husband because I'm just insecure about myself. That's all I do. That's my only thing. I'm like, no. So I had a baby with your boyfriend.
Yeah, someone who's always like, I just tell it how it is. I'm just always telling it
well,
how
no,
it is.
then that's,
no, you're mean.
So that's somebody tricking you into thinking that they are self-aware and safe. Yeah, like I'm acknowledging this one flaw, so I'm so forthcoming and I have no secrets. Because if I told you that one little secret, why would I lie about anything else?
Right.
It's so manipulative.
Yeah, you're like, you're telling me that one little one because you've got bigger ones.
And also, fix it.
Yeah.
Also, fucking fix it. How about that? I love the person who's just like, this is how my childhood was, so I'm fixed like this forever. That's not how neurology works at all. And so if I do fuck up, it's your fault because I told you.
Right.
So now the ball's in your court. And now I'm the one that admitted it. So if I do it, it's now your fault because I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now you're dumb for letting me do this. I told you this is just who I am. I'm authentic. This is just how I am. Bye. Fucking bye.
Red fucking
people
flag.
who like use their childhood in their 40s as a scapegoat to their shitty behavior.
People who use their therapy for that is also a red flag.
Oh,
If
yeah.
Someone mentions that they go to therapy like 4 or 5 times in a conversation.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's also using fake. I also think
Because I had a friend who would always be like, well, I can do this because my therapist says I need my therapist. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not your therapist.
Yeah.
I need to get like a normal person.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of I'm going to admit all my flaws, so now it's your fault if I hurt you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You know what I mean?
Like I already showed you.
Yeah, I showed you. I told you everything that's bad about me. Now you're sick for moving forward with me. Or it's your fault now.
And then I feel like I am. Like, yeah, why didn't I run?
Yeah.
Why the fuck didn't I run?
Because, I mean, I think there's also something like really beguiling and disarming about someone who admits all their flaws. There's something, and as you were talking about that, I realized a big red flag for me is oversharing too much too soon and trauma bonding. So if you're on a first date, I should not know about all your abuse as a child. I should not know this stuff. Like I've got a lot of that stuff too, and it's taken me a long time to realize I don't need to lead with that because what I'm trying to subconsciously do is avoid abandonment by getting you to pity me somehow. So I'm going to tell you all the horrible things that ever happened to me so you feel sorry for me because I don't think I'm enough unless I'm damaged or broken. I think that's what's interesting about me because I'm insecure about this conversation. So I'm going to try to be interesting by saying all the awful things that happened to me. And then I'm going to overexpose myself. So I feel even worse if you don't want to keep seeing me. I'm now going to feel like disgusting and super rejected. I'm setting myself up for an even bigger disappointment. But it's like subconsciously my way of trying to sink my hooks into you so that you won't abandon me by oversharing, and I've been in so many relationships where we just overshared way too much, entrenched in the beginning, conflated love and pity, trauma bonded.
Well, you're creating a false sense of intimacy.
That's right.
You're like, if you know all of this about me now, we're really close.
That's right.
And the only thing that creates closeness is just time.
That's right.
Like time, and then trust builds into that, but it's, yeah. You know what I was thinking? This is not a red flag. But something within me that's probably a red flag for somebody else.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wish I was more interesting. Like, I wish I had more. You talk about like you're like want to say all this stuff about your childhood and make be really interesting. I'm like, I don't I don't know art. I really don't. Like
Francois.
Francois de Louvre.
You knew Francois.
I know how to say like, oh, I love the use of negative space. That gets in.
Me too.
I know how to do this.
love negative
I
space.
love how they collapse 3 dimensions into 2. That's a good
And
one.
negative space is wherever I am.
I'm like, oh, I love the use of negative space. And I just use that every place I go. I say that, oh my God, I love the use of negative space here. And they look at me, I'm like, I know. Oh my God, I love
I don't.
the use of negative space.
I'm not a big art person, but a guide took me to MoCA. Is that the Museum of Modern Contemporary Art downtown in LA?
Okay.
And I only know art based on how expensive it is. Same with wine. I only know if wine is good based on how pretty the label is. That I'm trash, period.
Yeah.
And we went to MoCA. And at every painting, I asked the security guard, I was like, how much is this?
Oh my God.
And
They're like priceless. It's at the Mocha.
they're like, we don't know.
At the Mocha.
And I was like, can we Google how much this costs? Like, and then they're like, it's $80 million. I'm like, oh, this must be good. That's the only way I know.
I don't understand. I remember I grew up in Oklahoma, and I grew up in Japan, but went to school in Oklahoma. And I remember during college, went down to Dallas to whatever their big museum is there. That's how non-artsy I am. I don't know what it is. And I remember seeing this painting, and it was just red. And my best friend in college, she's an architect major, and she loves art. She's really smart. She's one of those people that says negative space, but knows what she's talking about. But there's actually negative space.
I'm a devil's advocate. I like positive space.
Yeah. I'm looking at a Where's Waldo, and I'm like, I love the use of negative space. And she goes, so I'm looking at it, and I'm like, see, I don't get this.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this. I can do this. And I can sit outside this motherfucking museum and be like, mine are just 25 grand a pop, y'all. If you want this, that's 80 million in there.
I love that as soon as you went to Dallas, you said y'all.
Y'all. No, it comes out of me. And she was like, no, the reason why it's so difficult and why this is such a piece of art is because, to do this, there's no paint strokes. There's no, it's all the symmetry, and it's just evenly painted. He just did the whole thing. And I was like, still like, yeah, I don't.
See, I think
I
that
don't
makes you
want-
more interesting.
That I don't know.
Yeah, that you're just kind of like,
And that's-
I don't like it.
It's true. It's refreshing.
It's refreshing, but after a while, like that's my thing. And every dinner thing, it'd be like, but you guys, I don't want that thing. And they're gonna be like, okay, Olivia. They're gonna be like, oh, did you guys see the new, David Mamet play? And I'm like, I mean, as an actress, I'm like, I don't
This
read.
guy.
I'm just like, I'm like, who's Mamet? Like, by the way, don't know a Mamet. I mean, I'm an actor who like isn't that artsy, but I really fucking try to pretend. David Harbour, we were in the newsroom together, so we're friends. And
Yeah.
back in the day, I remember he was like, oh, they're doing this play at like a Shakespeare in the Park or whatever, and I was like, oh, we should go see it. He's like, yeah, you want to? Let's go. I was like, cool. I was like, so this play, I heard it's on at this time. Do you want to go? He's like, great, we'll meet you there. He's like, you got it? You're good? I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you there. We get there, and he's like, did you get the tickets? And I was like, oh no, I thought we just get them here. And he's like, Olivia. And I was like, what? He's like, it's Shakespeare in the Park, and it's this play with these people. And I was like, those people are, the people want to come see them. And he was like, yeah, and it's this play. And I'm like, and that's a big play, huh? And he's like, and there's no more tickets because, and he's like, oh, hold on. So because he's very artsy.
Yeah.
He knows the whole world. He's like, hold on. He goes around, sneaks us in. They put us in the back. And I was like, oh, and that was a time when I felt like, oh, I'm a dum-dum.
But here's, no. I think the most interesting people are the ones that are able to say like, I get why that was good 300 years ago, but we since have more interesting shit.
But see, I can't find the since interesting shit though either. I'm with you. I can't the old one or the new one.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Shakespeare is fucking boring. It wasn't
really
boring when it was the only shit to watch. I get why it was interesting back then. It's not that fucking interesting. I've been to Shakespeare in the Park. There's like bugs biting.
You know what's interesting? UFC. That is
riveting.
My Shakespeare.
Riveting. Talk about it. Riveting.
People
engaging.
just like beating the shit out of each other.
On the edge of my seat.
There's blood. There's broken bones. There's
real
lives
drama.
Are at stake. I mean,
yeah. I'm also like, I think it's just to be able to like. It took.
But even there, sorry, not to interrupt. Even then, I love USC, and even then, I can't hold a conversation about how in depth it is. And maybe it's just because I can't really get into anything for too long. I feel like I can't hold I can hold a conversation about like the shit that I've put into fires.
Yeah.
But like, I really don't think I could really like hold a really long conversation.
Why should you have to?
Yeah, you don't have to. You're
You're you. I mean, that's the other
Guys.
thing is that I feel like there's this half the time people can quote hold a conversation, they're being full of shit anyway. Like when I was talking to someone about Woody Allen the other day because I have never liked Woody Allen movies. I don't think they're fucking funny. I've never thought they were good. Even before the shit came out about him, I didn't think his stand-up was funny. I've always been in fights about this. I do not think men being weak and scared is funny. I think it's he's a fucking pussy. I've never, Dan Keaton is amazing in Annie Hall. He's brilliant at casting and getting great performers. I've never thought and if you love New York, it's all a love letter to New York. I get it. But I've never, and I was like fighting with someone about this and they're like, but it's so brilliant. And I was like, do you really believe this? Or are you just saying this because you think you're supposed to
Conditioned.
say
And you heard it. It sounds good.
Yeah. Like I think we're all just like so full of shit, you know? And I think it's important when you're able to go like, do I really believe that? Or am I just like trying to fit in or trying to make people like me or trying to seem smart? To me, the most interesting people are the people like, I don't get that. I don't get it.
Well,
doesn't do anything for me.
You've just met your most interesting
I was going
friend.
to say, I love you.
I don't know.
I remember with like David Lynch, I did that. I remember running around being like, it's so genius. And then I'm talking to other people because I went, I minored in film. We're like, this is so genius. And then I remember being like, why is it genius? Like, can someone just explain it to me? And everyone was like, we don't know.
I mean,
it was like Citizen Ruth is fucking genius and Blue Velvet is I now understand.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was just like, are we all so insecure that we're pretending? Like, I kind of want to put out, I think David Lynch should just put out a total nonsense movie and just watch critics say it's the most brilliant thing ever, just because everyone's so afraid to say they don't understand something.
yeah.
Okay, taking another break from our lovely conversation with Olivia Munn. What a dream. What a dreamboat she is.
Icon, legend, star.
I love on this podcast that we talk about therapy. People really enjoy it, and I appreciate that people let me be so open and authentic and vulnerable about the fact that I need help. Good help. Better help, frankly.
Better help. Heard of it.
Heard of it. Love it. We love BetterHelp because here at Good For You, we don't pretend to be okay.
We are broken.
We are a shattered, mere suggestion of a person. We are hanging by a thread, and we admit that.
What would you talk to a therapist about?
I mean, I'm perfect. I was just... I think right now I've been lonely. What if I just started crying in the BetterHelp ad? No, it's lonely. And I think also the amount of anger that I'm seeing around people because there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know if schools are going to open. We don't know when we're going to be able to get back to normal. And I'm seeing a lot of like anger and pain come up. And when I see people in the grocery store yell at each other at masks, I want to interfere, but I know I can't. I have to mind my business.
Yours are different than mine.
What are yours? What are you going to talk to?
I would like to talk to a therapist about why I cry every time I listen to a Kelly Clarkson song, even the empowering ones. Or why I'm still torn up about the ending of A Walk to Remember.
Her name should be Kelly Catharsis.
Yeah, that's a good one. We love that.
We love BetterHelp. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. This is professional counseling done securely online. I also just wrote BetterHelp into a script.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Read that script.
There's a whole script that I'm working on, and BetterHelp is in it. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. They make it easy and free to change counselors. It's so great because you can just do it in the privacy, the comfort of your own home. You don't have to drive to a therapist office and find parking and feed the meter, and then you can't find a quarter, and then the meter runs out, and then you just got a ticket for going to therapy, and then you're like, to the universe, you're like, I guess you don't want me to go to therapy, and then you stay crazy. BetterHelp solves all of that rigmarole.
You can start communicating in under 48 hours. I can't even get you to text me back in that amount of time.
That's correct. Why don't you talk to your BetterHelp counselor about that? Because I feel some resentment coming at me. BetterHelp.com/Whitney. That's better, H-E-L-P. And join the over 1 million people. That's awesome. Taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. Special offer to Good For You listeners where you get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/Whitney. We love Thrive.
You are
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
I love Thrive too, but no one loves Thrive as much as you.
Yeah. Because I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo with the stuff that I put in my body.
Yeah,
That sounded crazy.
We order sunflower seeds, cheese doodles, grapeseed oil, wine, lavender. It looks like we're witches, alcoholic witches with a child.
But this Thrive, what I love about this company is they deliver organic, sustainable groceries right to your door. When I send Benton to get groceries, he comes back with nothing I want.
The grocery store is an adventure for me.
Okay, you never get me what I ask for. This company does.
That is true.
It is true. When I ask him to go get me vegetables, he'll come back with these
Pop-Tarts.
No, he'll come back with these like nasty, like passive aggressive sliced mushrooms. I'm like, what am I gonna do with these? Remember, you'll come back with just like celery. I'm like, I don't want any of this. Like, so I love Thrive because you can essentially go in and say the kind of stuff that you like and what your dietary restrictions are, and then they only show you products that are
that you'll like.
Yeah, because I hate it when you buy something and you're like, oh God, I can't eat this. It has dairy in it. Or I can't, when it's already gotten home and you eat it anyway because you have no self-control, and then you're full of shame, and it's a whole nightmare. This is where I get that. I discovered that avocado oil. I am now obsessed with cooking with avocado oil. The little almond coffees that I have.
You're obsessed with
that
those too.
I drink them all day. The grapeseed oil I put on my face, I even get from here. Everybody asks me where I get my luminous glow. It's from the grapeseed oil that I get on Thrive.
And the 100 cheese puffs you eat.
I do eat lots of organic cheese puffs.
It's a little like I have a 2-year-old. I just put them in a Ziploc bag and I put them in your purse and set you off to work.
As a member, you'll also save 25 to 50% off traditional retail prices, which is amazing. I cannot stand it when kale chips are like $12. Carbon neutral shipping is free on orders over $49. That's awesome. Thrive Market tailors to 70 different diets and values, whether you're paleo, keto, plant-based, delivering the highest quality organic and sustainable essentials from groceries, healthy snacks, meat, seafood, clean wines, love it, non-toxic cleaning, bath, and body. Everything you need is here. The savings I get on my favorite clean organic products are awesome. I just also feel good about helping to support communities in need. In addition to membership matching, Thrive Market raised over $750,000 to date through their COVID-19 relief fund.
Which is incredible.
Awesome.
Go to thrivemarket.com/good4you. Join today and you'll get a free gift of your choosing, up to $22 in value.
Thrive, THRIVE market.com/good4you. Start your risk-free membership and get a free gift today. Thrivemarket.com/good4you.
Once you've made a decision that something or someone is amazing, it's really... that's hard for them to fall.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to support them up because it's like not them. You can't, that's why people, that's why some people are able to, skirt around some things because people don't want them to fall.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. I mean, same thing with like in relationships. Just today, my girlfriend was telling me about a friend of hers who caught her boyfriend cheating and all that. And he said he wasn't, and she's still staying with him. And I said, well, she's like, she just wants to believe. I said, well, what she's hearing is I'm leaving you and not like I cheat on you. So what she wants to hear, instead of him saying I didn't cheat on you, she's like, I can't believe that she believes him because she knows she caught him. She saw him with the girl. I'm like, yeah, but what she's hearing is I didn't cheat on you. She's not hearing that. What she's hearing is I'm not going to leave you. Because for whatever reason in her head, he needs to be this person for her right now. It's too much. And I said, she's like, what should I do as a friend? I said, you got to let her write it out because she's not emotionally able to take the idea of him leaving her.
That's right.
And so you got to let her, even if
I've told a friend that her person was cheating on her too soon, ruined our friendship.
Oh.
I thought I was like being the big hero coming in, telling her the truth. I would want to know. And it was like destroyed our friendship. I wish I
would always want to know.
Right. So
I'm the girl. Tell me everything. Even if I'm crying afterwards, like you have to tell me. I'll be so much more upset later. I'm like, I like to know like the truth.
That's what it's like. It's taken me so long as an adult to realize you just have to find your tribe of people that think like you. Because if you're in friendships where like you're the type of person that wants to know and they're the type of person that's like doesn't want to, it's just like it's not sustainable.
Like, I have a friend who. I have friends who like, one friend, she'll ask me something and I'll literally say like, do you want to hear the truth or do you want, and she'll, cause she knows me so well. I'm like, do you want to hear what I really think? Or do you want me to just tell you something that will make you feel good? And she goes, Sometimes she'll be like, just tell me something that makes me feel
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, great. But like, she's also a friend that's like, if these jeans don't look good on her, she doesn't want to know. She'll get annoyed with you. But with me, I'm like, you tell me if it makes my ass look flat or it makes my ass look weird or whatever. Like, tell me that those pockets are like, what are people doing with pockets now? Like, it's very specific. Like,
Yeah.
So like, I want to, if I came over here and I thought I looked great and you're like, Olivia, don't wear those jeans again. I'd be like, thank you.
You
for
look
real.
too good and it's hurting my feelings.
No, well, I'd always want to know that.
I do when friends of mine call me to talk about relationships. It's taken me 37 years to figure out, but I go, do you want to talk about the problem or do you want to solve the problem? And most of the time it's like, oh, I just want to talk about it. And it's like, great. At least I know what gear to be in. I'm
Yes.
listening. Do you want me to listen and just fucking bitch with you? Or do you actually want to work towards a solution?
Yeah.
I need to know so that I don't end up codependence doesn't start breeding resentment where I'm like, I was on the phone with you trying to solve this. I don't want to fuck up our friendship. I have to know.
I one time I was with my girlfriends, like three of my closest girlfriends, and I said, I was looking around. I said, you know what? Like what they each bring. I go, my one friend, Kara, she's like kind of like my resident guy. She thinks like a guy. She operates. So if you ever were like, what was he thinking or what should I do? She's like, she's the one who can help you. My girlfriend Brooke, she's like always down to do whatever. Like, if like, I just want to hang at home and eat ice cream. Okay, let's do that. Let's go out to a bar. Okay, let's do that. Like, she's always cool. My other girlfriend, Jessica, she's got OCD like me, and we can just sit at home and like, we can kind of just like, do nothing and kind of get in her OCD, or she can help me clean up everything. Yeah. So I'm like, I see what you guys each bring to my life. But like, what do I bring to yours? Like, I'm like, what friend am I? I was like,
Who am I?
Yeah, who am I? What am I bringing? Because I see how
interesting.
And my friend Brooke goes, whenever anything happens to any of us, the first thing you ask is, what do you want? And I was like, oh, she's like, so if her and her boyfriend break up, I don't judge. I just go, what do you want? You want to get him back, even if I think he's an asshole? Or do you want to make him suffer? Or what do you want? Even if I don't agree with it, as long as it's legal, I will help you get there. You want to go drive by? We want to hack into his shit? Like, let's figure this out. We want to go find that girl. What do you want? You want to call his mom? Let's call his mom. What do you want?
That.
That's me. And I won't
Not
judge.
telling you. I'm not telling you what to want. I'm going to help you get whatever it is.
Yeah. And later on, we'll deal with like the, like
Ethics of it.
Yeah. Right now, we don't have time for ethics. What do you want? Because like, that's like a thing. And I was like, okay, that made me feel good. I'm like, okay, now I know.
I love
I'm
that.
that friend.
Now the most important question of the podcast, what do you do to your skin?
I see Shawnee Darden. Do you know Shawnee?
Just a fan. Didn't we try to get an appointment with Shawnee Darden?
Yes.
No dice?
During
COVID
pandemic,
happened. Yeah, it happened right whenever we were getting the emails back.
So you dropped the ball.
No, I didn't drop the ball. The email said you can't come in.
That's what I'm saying. My vagina was too far back. She wouldn't accept me.
I also do Ulthera.
I did Ulthera. Why don't I look like you?
Oh my God. Oh, look, I'm hoping I need to do it more on my neck.
Ulthera is a laser that hurts like all fuck.
But it's one of the most painful things ever.
Oh, truly ever.
But if you find the right what Ulthera does is it's a laser that it goes deep into the bottom of your skin. And like if they were to do a facelift, somebody explained this to me. If they do a facelift, they open up your skin and then they cauterize underneath, which then creates collagen, which then like fills it up. And so this laser is just it's topical, so it's on the outside. So that laser goes as far down as like if they were doing a facelift, right? So it goes that far down. But in order to get that same effect, they have to be in the same spot 50 times, like 50 spots, like zap you that many times. And it's literally torture. It's like somebody holds a hot iron to your face.
That's right. And it has to damage the bottom layer of your skin so much that it starts to produce more collagen. Like it's a trauma to your face.
Yeah.
I did it 2 or 3 times over like maybe like 3 years or something. And I took 2 Vicodin. I had to smoke weed because I was getting like physically violent with the person that was doing it on me.
And the thing is like this. So when they're doing it, you can't say stop because they have to keep doing it because they need to create that burn down there. You can't stop and go. So that's why you have to go 50. If it says 50 times right there, you got to hold on. Now, if you have the wrong person, so it's interesting because I was looking at the machine. I had somebody show me once. And like playing video games, like I was able to see like, oh, it's kind of like a video game. I'm like, you have to go, I tell the person myself, because you have your nerves that come through and you see on the screen, there's like this black line and there's a white line and you can see where the nerve comes through. And they just have to find it in this right space where the nerve isn't there. And then once you see it, I'm like, now go. So I will guide them. So that's why it hurts so much, because you have the woman who's just going over your face and just doing it over and over, but your face is like moving around and your nerves are jumping because it's like, going through this. So I watch the screen and be like, go here, stop.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it is. It's like a little video game that you got to go. It's okay now. It's right there, but it was a huge help.
Yeah, but the topical lasers, a lot of people ask me about this because my face is so fucking shiny. The topical lasers I found thin my skin. They say over...
Did you ever do
Fraxel?
Fraxel. Well,
I never did.
No, the thing, if you ever people do like acid peels and things like that.
Yeah.
Because when you do too many peels on your skin, or even just one, you actually strip your pores off, so your oil doesn't have anywhere to go underneath. That's why people's skin looks too shiny, and that's why this oil stays on top. You have to be really careful too many times of like stripping your skin off the top, because that's why you see these older women and they all look shiny, and then the thing is they think they look young, but just everybody ends up looking old because they all look that age.
Like a super old lizard.
Yeah, you have to be really careful about how much you strip your skin.
And when you do these topical lasers, like what's it called?
Fraxel, Fractora.
There's another one, Laser Bright, some shit. It takes the hair off your face, and that makes your face shinier as well.
Why do you?
It's like takes off the top. What is it called? Laser X.
One of the laser ones.
I've done it. It's like to get off sunspots and stuff like that. I would always do it. Photo facial.
Is this real?
Photofacial?
It was in a mini mall.
It's like photosynthesis.
In Reseda. It's whatever, the topical thing that takes off the dead skin cells on top.
I've done BBL, broadband light treatment, which is spot treatment on my sunspots. That was a huge difference on my face.
That's good.
Because I actually, since COVID, I haven't done it, and I can tell like I've been out in the sun more or whatever, but like that brightens up your face a lot more than just doing your whole fucking face.
Your skin is wild.
Really?
So good.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
It's so beautiful. Do you have any like major products you love besides Shani? But she sells products.
Yeah, she started selling products.
Yeah.
I've been kind of obsessed with the like Honest Beauty oil, and then this other skincare line called Mara. And she's got a lot of really interesting like creams and balms. That Korean lip thing.
Yes, Benton got this for me. I have it beside my bed.
And I kind of make my own body lotions, like with kind of like coconut oil and like different stuff like that. Nice. Just because, not only during pandemic, because I was bored. Because I'm looking at people like
You're full Amish.
Oh my God, people are doing so much on Instagram, and I was like,
it's sad.
I mean,
it's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch.
It's hard to watch, frankly.
It's really hard.
Can I tell you something? And I know I have to let you go. I must commend you.
You say that because you need
You're
to.
like she's a hostage.
I know.
I know.
But I know you keep saying that, and I keep saying I'm cool, and I feel like you really want to leave.
No, I'm having so much fun, and I'm just codependently worried that I'm like bothering you. But it's a pandemic, so where the fuck are you gonna go?
Yeah, I've got nowhere to go. I'm so excited.
You're not going to an art museum. You don't care. Yeah.
No, I'm going to the Mocha because they have a great use of negative space.
They have a sale on the painting.
On the negative space.
Your social media is one of the few that doesn't bother me.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more, because
I'm like,
that's an anxiety.
There's a lot of people on social media, and I don't know if it's just because of the pandemic and people are being removed from their ability, their isms and their drugs. People are not getting attention the way they normally do. People are getting desperate for attention, especially performers. They're not able to go on stage. They're not able to act or do whatever the thing is that gets them their fill of, ego boost. I've definitely I've had to mute a lot of people that I love in the last couple months because of the lives and I'm all of a sudden a chef and I'm all of a sudden, it's just, I always am like, she nails it.
Really? That makes me feel so good. I get anxiety with glam shots because.
But you are fuck you, man. You're adorable about it. She posts like the ones that aren't the
you'll be on like water in a cave and you're like, oh, what is she doing?
I know, but she'll have like this gorgeous glamour shot and then she'll post like the ones where she's like
really stupid,
her eyes closed or where
because most of them are that.
Yeah, like the ones where she tried, because to get one good photo you have to take 50 shitty ones.
I have learned. Well, that makes me feel better that you feel that, because like when I go through the pictures, I'm like, I try not to be too impressionable, but I think that social media has ingrained in me that the dead eye look is the look Like I'm like, so if you look through all my fucking pictures,
Oh my God.
like I did, I have it today,
So
where I think that
funny.
all my look is just like it's all dead-eyed or like I just saw a deer.
your
just,
eyes are negative space.
Yes, and it's just like I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Oh, I'm looking through and it makes me embarrassed right now because I look. Oh yeah, I don't think I want to show you.
I don't think.
I
it's
love
fine.
you.
I mean, I've
You
seen
can-
it.
guys,
Is it your Instagram? I
No. I'm looking at the pictures I took today before I came over.
I
Guys,
love
it's
you.
embarrassing. I can't even.
But are you gonna post them?
I'll post something, but it'll be the ones that are less like when you see them all.
I'll show you an embarrassing. I'll show you an embarrassing.
It's not just one. It's the collective. When you look at how
the
many I
gr-
did and how
Yeah,
like
the amount.
in the different poses.
I loved you with your Psylocke sword when you hit that painting.
Yeah, see, that was like the first time I did it, and I was like, and then I tried to do more of it. I was like, you know what? This is the one. I'm like, I fucked up. Whatever, move on. I hurt the frame of my artwork.
Here, I'll show you an embarrassing one.
Oh my God.
This is me in Palm Springs trying to take a chill selfie.
But so how many? So my thing is this.
I
that
only
one's
did-
okay, but one's okay.
I did three, and then I realized they weren't going.
Do you have a home in Palm Springs?
And I stopped. No, this was me visiting Tim Dillon, a friend of mine. But I usually give up after two. After three, I know we're not getting anywhere.
Okay, so my thing is, I'm trying to do the pose.
Here we go. Wait. There's.
Oh.
Here's a grid.
Wait, but is that for? But no, those aren't your glam ones. Those are you like showing something on your skin.
I was like showing off my white eyeliner, and I took a lot.
Oh.
I take her glam ones. That's why you.
Benton handles my social.
But here's the thing about one, they're too close to you. Like, hold on. Do you have to-
Whitney loves a phone right up in the face.
No, but you gotta like do this thing. What? But
Benton-
this one, this arrow thing will make it go out a little bit more. So if you go really, say, look, if you go really close,
Look at that.
and then that arrow won't make your everything look.
Yeah, but like this is you know when you like look at your phone and you're consumed with shame because you were trying to take one photo and you had to take 50 and you still don't have a good one. Oh, so well this is
So my problem is I'm.
you know your angle. I think you sort of hold it up a little bit.
Yeah, I do. There's 7:30 p.m. I get some good light and it's above me. I'm not kidding either.
No.
But here's the thing is that I am not an influencer and I am not a reality star. I am an actor and I'm like, I'm so influenced by how they post. And then I'm like, what are you doing, Olivia? And then I'm like, I just wanted to look, I wanted to look like you just caught me.
You're an influencer.
But no one's caught me. It's a selfie. But like
Your
see them.
arms in it.
I know, and I'm just like, oop, me? What? I'm trying to be cute.
Like I'm taking
And like these
the
girls,
photo.
I look at Kendall Jenner's, and she's like, Palm Springs with my bathing suit, and I'm like, me too.
You're an influencer whether you want to be or not. though.
But look, I don't know. But I cannot keep up with the Kardashians, like for real.
It is so funny when we take selfies of ourselves and try to pretend we don't know we're taking them.
You guys,
like, what?
wait, most of the time, I'll tell you this. I'm going to show you this. The look on my face, I'm going to zoom in on this one. You're going to see it from afar. It looks like this.
Oh no.
All right? It looks like, I'm just like from afar, I'm like, hey, but if you
So
look at my
cute,
eyes,
cute and
look at my
casual.
dead eyes. You can see that, right? I'm like this. This is what it looks like.
Glazed over zombie. You look like a wax figure.
But
of
my
yourself.
face, look, see how I'm smiling, but my eyes are like, please tell me this worked. Please tell me this worked.
Do you have your phone on a self timer?
By the way,
I do, but this one,
I love that.
that's the person I used to see at parties 15 years ago.
Wait,
I was
yeah.
like, she's so confident. She's so together.
But if you came closer to me, you would have been like, her eyes.
Oh my God,
Wait,
she's
and by the way,
terrified.
this is most of it is me going like this, like, did I do it? Most of them are this one.
That
of
is
me, and then
really
this timer's going off, and so I'm just like, is this? But I can't post that because
it's really cute though.
wait, there was a lot of them. Then there was this one. Then I thought, I'm just gonna walk you through it. Then somebody walked into the door. And then I saw the on the self timer. Oh, that might have been cute. Oh, so I went like, hey. Then I thought maybe I'll do a pointed one. And then I was like, oh my God.
You said, and then I'll be going over here.
Then I'm like, I'm gonna be pointing at my house. And then I thought, you know what? I can't do this. So now I came up with my caption. I was like, I'm gonna post a caption that says I'm pointing at nothing. But then they all just came out stupid because then the joke was not that funny after like 20 photos.
And it's so demoralizing.
It really is.
But I like that you show sort of all the evidence and emotional detritus involved in taking one celebrity selfie that's so glamorous. You show all the weird, like awkward ones that go along with it.
Most of the time, my face looks like this. Did that work?
I mean,
Is it working? It's horrible.
just the panic. Oh, the worst is when you have to like make yourself laugh for a picture and try to look like it's a genuine laugh.
Oh yeah, I got those in here too. Hold on.
Where you like try to just crack yourself up so it looks like an organic laugh, and they're just like, oh God, I hate myself.
Well, then I'm trying to show the outfit.
Oh wait, here we go. Hold on. Let me show you. This is probably my most humiliating one. So I did a partnership with Cauliflower Pizza. This is the number of photos that Benton had to take of me.
Oh my God.
It's because I have to keep going. Joy, joy.
But you look
You're
so,
happy.
But you look so pretty. Ben, you do her makeup, right?
No.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
I
I
thought
do,
you
but
do.
usually
But it's so pretty.
I do it occasionally for fun.
but who
like,
did this?
She'll slap it on.
That's me, but it's
very pretty.
That's very nice. Like you were coming today.
You did an ad?
You look like you.
This is an ad?
Yeah. No,
why-
I just sit around with it and I leave the pizza box out.
You know, like,
Stuck to
don't
the
you?
wall.
You know, the thing about people asking you to do ads, it's like, don't you think it's more influential if they like let you put the box upside down and like make it look more natural? They're like, no, place the box like this. I actually don't do a lot
I
of
have
ad
a
stuff.
theory about that. I know you pass on everything. I know. That's the only reason I get anything is because you fucking pass.
I pass on this cauliflower
I
vegan
know.
pizza.
Thank you. Thank you for passing. So other people get crumbs. I really appreciate it.
But I'm not living in this. You're like ridiculous. Like you own Topanga Canyon.
I did. You're right.
I don't own Topanga Canyon. You've literally bought it with vegan pizzas.
I have. With all of the crumbs you've thrown me, I have managed to build a real estate empire.
So what were you saying?
One woman's trash.
Another person's Topanga Canyon.
And I'm trying to look. My phone photos are all dogs and videos
God.
of you, Benton. Oh God, this is pretty embarrassing. Oh God, you know when you try to do a selfie? Oh God, this is me and my dog. Here's another chunk of selfies I tried to do, like a burst.
Here's the interesting thing, right? A selfie no longer is just for. Why is your face so shiny? Do you have a mask on? Like it's like overly shiny, right? Right?
This is what my face looks like before I go to bed.
What do you put on it?
I lube it up in oil.
Like snail.
Yeah,
snail stuff.
It's I put on grapeseed oil. I put on this oil that you're getting in your gift bag called. What are you doing? Okay, don't swipe too much. Jesus.
Oil is very.
Mama's been sending some nudes in quarantine. I'd be easy with the swiping, Olivia.
Wait, so but the interesting thing is when you take those, you were taking them for yourself or are you taking them to post?
I don't know.
Oh, she will post them.
Look how fucking shiny I look. I look batshit crazy.
Okay, here's. Wait, look at this.
I'm covered.
I've never seen that.
I look like I'm
This
covered.
is the worst one when I'm like, I'm acting as if I'm taking, like I'm at a photo shoot in my own home when it clearly is on self-timer. Like, it's more pathetic because
Is that a drawing of the guy from A Six-Fingered Man?
it is. That's Inigo Montoya. A friend drew that for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Weird. Good eye.
Thank you.
It's on the
I was
ground.
looking at your butt. I mean,
And then you scroll down.
And then I scroll
Oh,
down.
there it is.
Okay, so this is. It's just so humiliating to go through your photos.
It really is.
It
Oh, I
really
found
it's
this-
bringing up a lot.
This is one I probably will post because it's just like I
That's
look like
gorgeous.
but I'm like this is me. It's not supposed to be gorgeous.
So how many? Oh God! Oh, sorry. I didn't look at your face. Actually, it's gorgeous, but you look like you're having either a seizure or an orgasm.
Both.
What? How many photos does it take to get like the selfie? Oh wait. Oh my God. Okay.
So many.
Before Benton did one, I had to do. This is actually the most embarrassing thing in my phone. More embarrassing than nudes. More embarrassing than pretty much
What?
anything. This is me trying to do the first round of photos of me posing with a pizza.
Oh no. Oh, there's so many in your fridge. It's as if there's nothing else that you eat. Is that part of the ad? You know they tell you all these things like you can't.
I had to wear green.
They said you had to wear green.
Yeah, they preferred it. But to be fair, she does eat those pizzas.
I had them. So I was like, I might as well.
Do you still have them?
Yeah.
Collie Power.
I'll make
Cute.
But look at how many photos I took, and I don't think I posted any of them.
You know what I like to do? Hold on. I like this one. I can see. I'm gonna hold it where we can get the live action.
Oh, I love that.
Watching her just. Oh, that was like a. Oh, then the mouth comes open at this point. Oh yeah, there it is. Watch.
But it's a live
Hold
photo.
on. It goes this, and then she's gonna. And then we're gonna. Open.
Sometimes you'll see Whitney will send a picture, and if you hold it down, she'll go.
You see me at the
End of it, she'll go.
Yeah. What if they just let us take what we really want to take? It's just like us with the cash. Cash, pizza, done.
Okay. Last thing I swear I'm going to ask you is, do you have any money advice for people? I always like to ask people money advice.
Great.
I always say, put away 30% of your paycheck because you don't have it. If you make $100, you did not make $100. You made $70, right? Because you're going to have to pay taxes later. It took me a long time to figure that out. Do you have any like things you wish you learned when you were younger about money?
Well, I think the best piece of advice I could give about money is it's not how much you make, it's how much you save. People are spending way too much and we're wanting to buy these so much, like you want to keep up with people. I want to have this. It's like, it's not how much you make, it's how much you save. You can make a ton and you can spend it on a lot of crap. All that really matters is how much you have in your bank account and how much you can take care of yourself. So the reason why I do say no to a lot of things is because I save my money. I'm a big saver. I always have been. And I don't need like all these multiple homes yet. I just don't see that need right now. And so I save all my money so that I just learned early on, or I believed early on, that if I save my money, I would never have to take a job just to pay my bills. I want to be able to have my artistic integrity. And, that's what my money is being saved for, so that I can make artistic decisions based on whatever I want to do, not what I have to do. And by the way, that means I can take a risk here and there, or I can say no to things. And I mean, the other day I said, right before the pandemic, I said no to something like it was a lot of money, but there was just too many variables. It was really great. It was a really great project and I loved everything about it. But the executive producer who wrote the first 2 episodes that I read, it was amazing. He's amazing, but he wasn't going to keep writing them after that. He's going to be executive producer, but there's going to be somebody else writing after that. And I was like, I just didn't think that I could sign up for something that I didn't know who was going to be writing after that. And so my worst case scenario was not this show bombing. It was it being moderately successful and I have to do it for 6 years.
Yeah.
And so then I'm on this show that I think starts off really great. I think it's really interesting, but I just don't know who am I signing on for on the 3rd episode. And then from then on, and then I'd make so much money. And I mean, everybody was like, I had the head of the studio call and be like, hey, do you know you're gonna, we're talking, you're like, they're like, in a few years, you're going to be, here.
But I think people don't understand when they say, you're going to make all this money. It's like, but I'm going to be working all that. I'm not going to be spending it. I'm going to be spending, 8 months in Vancouver from 7 a.m. to midnight. It's just sort of what about my time?
Right. And I think that, but as an actor, if it was the Newsroom again with Aaron Sorkin, and they said, Olivia, for the next, 10 months a year, you're going to be doing Sloan Sabbath with Aaron Sorkin until the day you die, I'd sign up. I'd be like, that's because that was just, it fulfilled me so much. I loved it so much. If this show was it's going to be this quality, and we promise you it's with this writer, this showrunner, then I would have done it. But I was like, I don't know. The time is all we have. I think that's the biggest thing about money. I think the best thing about money is that it gives us time. When you have money, you can travel better and get places faster. You can have better food. We know we can have better medical care. If unfortunately in this country, that's how it's like. And it just allows us to have time
and choices, which is it might not be about for a lot of people, it might not be about a future artistic integrity. It also might be the power to be able to leave a bad relationship if you want to.
Yeah.
It's being able to have future freedom.
And that's time though. Yeah. So how I spend my time while I'm here, that's on me. If I have the money to support myself and my family and to do whatever I need, then if I start selling out or doing things that are just for a paycheck, I believe that soon it will be one of the last paychecks I cash. Yeah. So if I'm just doing things that I like, even if it's a miss, it's something that's fulfilling me in some way. I'm spending my time here the way that I want to spend it. None of us get out of here alive. So,
ooh,
it's the truth.
Ooh, why have I never thought about that before?
Yeah?
I've never thought about it that way.
Well, none of us do. So it's like, while we're here, like, make it count for you.
I mean, it was interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, one of my best friends from college, Lizzie Goodman, brilliant journalist and writer. And she said something, I was like talking about something and I couldn't make a choice. And I was like, should I take this job or should I do this thing? And she just goes, well, we're dying. So what do you think? It was like, oh my God, we're fucking dying.
I do feel like I should be doing more. I feel that all the time.
Yeah.
I should be doing more. I feel like I should be doing more activism. I feel like I should be doing more for my career. I feel like I should be doing more for my family. I feel like I should be doing more for my dogs. I feel like I'm always feeling like I should have done more. I could have done more. And I think that's because anxiety comes over me and then I don't do stuff. And then when I finally feel like I can do this, then eventually this guilt comes in of like, oh, I wasted all that time before and I wish I'd done this. And it's like this weird cycle. And so now it's like, if I think about my girlfriends who can't be anxious over how much time they lost anymore because it's just done. I, want to learn that lesson permanently, that I need to just accept my time and accept everything that's coming my way and just do the best, just try my best.
I really feel like it's the people that do the most that don't think they do enough. It's always that. It's always that. It's like the fact that you're sitting here saying like, I wish I could do more. Meanwhile, I know so many people that haven't lifted a fucking finger when it comes to anything, And I think we have to, and it's so hard for me to remember, like, we have to recharge ourselves, like, in order to give, like, our cup has to be full, I always feel so guilty taking care of myself. I always feel so guilty. I mean, Benton knows I'm, like, obsessed about my self-care and taking naps and, like, protecting my time. And it's, like, so that I can show up 100% in other ways and rescue animals and whatever I do, because I know that I can't be effective at it.
Well, you were so good when we had those fires, and then stuff in Malibu, and I was like, I'm going to reach out to you. And then I reached out to another, I'm like, okay, I can do this. But I sat there going, truthfully, I was like, thank God there's people like Whitney, because I don't know, I'm frozen and I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm here, but I don't know. I'm like, but you are the kind of person, like with the fires, you were like, I'm going to get in my car. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm going to just, you went right into it. Where for me, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'll be here, be available. And that felt like, I was like, God, I wish I knew how to do more.
You were so awesome. Like, this was, for those of you that don't know, a couple years ago, well, last year, there were huge fires in California and animals were trapped and people's homes were lost. I mean, it was just a nightmare. And my thing is, like, I'm not good at everything, but when the fires happened, that is where I shine. Like, like time of crisis animals, like, that's what I know how to do. Like, I grew up with horses. I'm a horse person. Like, I know how to get horses on trailers. Like, I know what to do. So, and I also was in a fire as a kid. And
wow.
To me, I haven't really talked about that publicly, but when fire happens, there's just like, I'm just in. Like,
Can you tell that story?
It's
How old were you?
It's such a weird story. I was about 7, and every night I slept in this nightgown. And when people ask me, they're like, have you always been into animals? And have you always loved animals? And I like never know when it started. But when I think of this story, I realize I was wearing a very long black t-shirt that was like a pajama t-shirt that said World Wildlife Federation, and it had animals on it, and I wore it all the time. Like, I was just already, I grew up like, sexual assault as a kid. A lot of times you connect to animals because they're helpless and they're voiceless and they're innocent. And it's just like so maybe it was that. I grew up around a lot of alcoholics, but my aunts lived on a farm, and animals, they don't lie, they don't manipulate, they don't use you, they don't exploit you. Like, I just always connected with animals and their innocence and their integrity. So I remember, because I was wearing that, and I hope this doesn't get me any sympathy, I don't want it, but I remember my dad never paid the electric bill. Like, our family was very much keeping up with the Joneses. It was like, have a nice car, but don't get groceries. Like, spending money on all the wrong things, like keeping up appearances, but not like taking care of the basics. So it's like the electricity bill wasn't paid, and it was the middle of winter, and it wasn't, I didn't know at the time this was weird. You don't know what's weird when you're a kid, It's like, I remember just going to friends' houses and being like, whoa, look at all this shit in your fridge. Like, what is all this? Like, why would you have all this in here? It's going to go bad. Like, you acclimate to your environment, and you make it work as a kid. And we never had heat. So I know this is going to sound totally crazy. I was 7. I would turn all the burners up on the stove and I used to get dressed on the stove every morning because I was cold.
Wow.
Which is like, now that I look back, it's like crazy to think about. And
You were standing on the stove as the burners were on?
yeah, I would turn the burners on and then I would get dressed for school on the stove. I know it sounds.
I know. I had to ask because I feel like people listening are like, she did what?
It sounds
You're
very.
standing on top of a stove,
It
getting
sound-
dressed with the burners on.
How are you standing on it if the burner's wrong?
Because there's 4 burners and I would stand in
Yeah,
the
in the
middle.
middle.
I mean, I caught a fire.
What?
So that's what happened.
That's you know, I don't know how to use a stove downstairs. I have trauma around stoves.
Well, that stuff downstairs. Good God.
Okay, wait. So then,
So there
you're
were 4.
standing on
You know
it.
how like stoves used to have 4 burners?
Yeah.
And I would turn the burners on and start heating up the room. And then I would just like stand in the middle and get dressed. I was little, you know? And I remember our cereal was right above it. So I would like stand on the stove and like open it. And then one day the black t-shirt just went up in flames.
Oh my God.
And I have like scars on my legs and like burn scars and some on my hands and stuff. And it was what it was and whatever. At the time, you don't know you're being traumatized when you're being traumatized. You know
I think,
what I mean?
are you just jumping through the fire part? And it was what it was. Anyway, so trauma is very difficult.
By the way, it was
we
like-
know
It was on
about
fire
trauma.
and no big deal.
We all get trauma, okay? Blah, blah, blah. Trauma. It hurts you as an adult. You never get over it. Go back to the fire.
By the way, that was my first Althera appointment.
Yeah, I was like, blah, blah, blah. I know I've got trauma. Anyways, how do I lose weight?
This is why my face is so shiny. I kept catching on fire.
So wait, your thing catches on fire. Because if you are a grown woman with scars still, that means it was a bad fire that happened to you.
It was not good. It was not good. And basically what happened was the thing caught on fire and then it sort of stuck to my legs.
Yep.
So I remember there was black in my legs from the t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was no big deal. Went to school.
No, wait, who put you out?
Me. I just like figured it out. That's why I have burn scars on my hands.
Gosh.
So for me, like I grew up.
Were you crying?
No, that wasn't really acceptable
Are
in
you
my
dead
home.
inside? Did they kill you on the inside first?
I mean, it was really.
Were you scared?
I wasn't. I grew up in a really dangerous environment where I have this emotional dyslexia where really dangerous situations I feel comfortable and safe in, and then really safe environments I get.
Because it's not what you grew up with.
I get antsy. Yeah. And a lot of people that grew up in that sort of like, so for me, for the longest time, just hanging out one-on-one with a safe person made me anxious. I'm like, what? Because you're always waiting for the shoe to drop.
Right.
But when the shoe's already dropped, you don't have to worry. I feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable because your disposition is fight or flight.
That's
So
right.
Everything has to go up here, and you're like, then you're like cruising
Dude, when
altitude.
there was a fire, I was like, yes, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Like, I know what to do. I know. And for me, it's like, I know what the enemy is. I know what I'm fighting. No one can gaslight me about this. Like, it's very clear that this is the problem that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I struggle in the uncertainty of life of, is this bad? Is this person bad? Am I supposed to be doing this? Do I trust this person? It's like everything is so ambiguous.
Yeah.
But when there's a very clear villain, it's just like, I know what to do. I know where I'm supposed to be. I spend so much of my life being like, am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be working harder at this? There's no uncertainty when there's a fire. And there's something so calming about that to me.
Wow.
Because I know exactly where my body's supposed to be. I know exactly who the bad guy is. And I know what the truth is. There's no ambiguous truth. So I remember as soon as the fire happened, I started driving out to the fire. And it was so weird it was so weird to me that no one was going in that direction. I remember there being like no one on the road and being like, how come everyone's not running into the burning building like I am?
Wait, just to be clear, when you caught on fire as a child, you caught on fire and then you twirled around and were in your school clothes ready to
Yeah,
leave?
I just like
Cinderella?
Yeah, you just
see,
burnt the
there's,
clothes
like,
right off
that's
of you?
like the that's the lowest scar you
Wow.
can really see.
The fact that that means it was such a really bad burn. You didn't go to the hospital.
No, we didn't do that. What are we? What am I, Marie Antoinette?
No one.
What am I?
Well, they killed
What
her.
did I grow up in Versailles?
No one.
No.
No one at the school was like, "What happened?"
Yes,
to you?
I got sent home from school. So I went to school.
There we go.
And
there we
the
go.
teacher saw it and we're like, you're going to the office. And that was the first, like, you're going to the office and we're making calls and you're a different kid. You're a kid that's like a problem, you know, or like your parents are a problem, whatever it was. And that was the beginning of my fear of embarrassment and being different and feeling like I was, my biggest nightmare was being embarrassed, which a lot of people theorize that the reason people become comedians is to control the way they're embarrassed.
True.
So the fires, it was, you know, I'm also a fucking adrenaline junkie. I don't really drink. I don't really use drugs. Like that's my
You need fight or flight. You're trying to put yourself back into that.
That's right. Just I feel the most awake, alive, and good about myself when I am solving a problem that I'm sure is a problem. So a lot of times I've spent a lot of my life solving problems that weren't real, like men and people, and trying to like fix people's lives and solve problems that I created myself, or just like solving a real problem is, you know, when it comes to like the animal stuff, I'm like, I go out of body, like I disassociate, and kind of, as crazy as this sounds, like I just say what I think the animal would say if they could talk.
Yeah.
You know, there's a giraffe in Malibu that wasn't evacuated. They didn't have a trailer for it. They're not feeding it the right food. They don't have a license for it. It's all fucking illegal. It's all abuse. And like, I saw horses with gashes, you know, they were ripped open at this fucking Saddle Rock Ranch Malibu wines place. And I went apeshit. And, you know, and so I just, it's just very clear to me that when someone abuses an animal, like, what are you doing to women and children?
Well, yeah.
You know, if this is just what we see, like, what the fuck is going on behind the scenes? And, you know, and so I just like, I don't like liars, and I don't like anyone that abuses animals. Like, you're just, it's a non-starter for me.
Yeah. That's like when you go, if I get taken, like, whatever happens, that it, like, it's okay.
It's there's something like, yeah, it's so true. Like I mean, if I see someone abusing their dog, like I will fight with you till I can I'm taking it. Like I have a hammer in my car to smash windows of people that leave their dogs in hot cars. Like I'm just that bitch. And like, I don't see the world. I just can't imagine it any other way. You know?
Yeah.
It's just so clear to me that is, and it's intolerable for me not to. I can't tolerate it. Like if I see a dog in a hot car, like I'm smashing the window.
It's funny. I had a therapist tell me once, he said, you know, it's interesting when it comes to activism, your career, your friendships, you're extremely clear. When it comes to relationships, you get very unclear.
What is that?
Yeah. Well,
I think it's like an overdeveloped sense of, for me, responsibility and compassion, where I think I need to rescue people and have the same amount of forgiveness and patience for people that I do for animals. Whereas like if I am dealing with a dog that comes from a dog fighting situation and they're nippy or they're barking or they're aggressive, I forgive them. I'm like, I know exactly why you're the way you are. Of course you're like this. You're scared. This is all fear. Like it's so clear to me what's going on. And then I take that over to humans and then I'm like, no. You're 40.
Yeah.
You could have gone to therapy. You could have fucking fixed this. I don't need to be radically accepting of your rage. You should not be yelling at me in a parking lot. You're 45 years old. Like, pull it together. Like, I'm overly forgiving when it comes to men. And I also, in relationships, I think I have this really just the fucking, it's like Disney 101. I have this thing where it's like, I'm a weirdo if I'm not in a relationship. I'm a spinster. I've failed. Like, there's just like that shit that comes up too, which has just taken a long time to deprogram for me. The pressure of like, well, I have to be with someone. So I might as well be in something bad. Being in something bad is better than being alone.
Well, yeah, it seems like it's like the certain shitty path is much better than the uncertain path.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, so this one is for sure shitty, but I'm going this direction and I'll eventually successfully die.
And then
okay. But this one could be happiness, but we're not sure, but it could be some bumps. I mean, no, but there's more happiness over here, but there's going to be some, I don't know what those bumps are. I don't know. I don't like, I don't know.
And then you start doing math and I'm not good at math. So then I'm like, by the time I leave this person and then I meet a new person, that's going to be in 2 years and they're going to suck too. So I might as well just like stick with this person. And it's just like, it's a fucking hassle.
Horrible.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's why I don't do math.
Yeah.
Don't, just stay away. Stay away from the math.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. Wait, I have one last question for you.
I end these super awkwardly, but you're not going to let me.
What are some of the other things that you thought of me back in the day that you projected onto me? I don't feel you ever finished. I'm very interested. Can I have a cashew? Can I eat a cashew?
Yes, just so you know, the fans are going to, if they're almonds, the fans get upset.
Why? They don't like, because almonds are
they just sound very like, they're like an audio nightmare, I guess. Okay. There you go. You're leaning back. I was jealous of you when we...
They don't hate it that much.
I'm not doing anything.
You don't have to leave the room or anything.
When I first met you and first learned about you, or like saw you, I would see you at like meetings or like auditions or parties or something. I was definitely jealous, but in the beginning, I think I was more.
Sorry, when I start laughing, I can't stop.
I'm not jealous of you now. How the mighty have fallen. You're a fucking mess.
I'm so comfortable.
Those nuts.
I'm so confident.
I know. You were just this put together, like classy, beautiful, like feminine, just like portrait of perfection with no ostensible flaws or needs.
Still none. None you can see.
I was. Here,
water.
I'm gonna actually. I'm gonna actually tell. If you do you really want to do this?
100%. There's nothing else I want to do right now.
Okay, so I'll tell you the time. I'll tell you the times.
Hold on. I have a really horrible habit of like laughing
And spitting out nuts.
and anything that's in my mouth.
Okay. I also remember seeing you at Allie Larder's house, and you were wearing jean cutoff shorts, and you looked so fucking cool.
Really?
You're wearing jean cutoff shorts,
It's like my goal all the time.
and like
just to look cool.
and like a long cardigan. And I remember being like, "This bitch,
Wow.
like jean shorts and a long cardigan. I never would have thought of that."
What's sad is that like that's still what I'm rocking. I haven't changed. I don't think it's as cool now.
But it like blew my mind. And you were every party I've ever seen you at, I go in and like there's like 5 people standing in a circle around you, and you're just making them laugh and being hilarious
What?
and just like so. This is my projection of you
God.
as an insecure person who's like walking into a party like all scared, that you're just like holding court and making everybody laugh, and everyone's like waiting in line to talk to you, and I'm like an ogre in the corner. Like that's just. And she's so confident and can like just walk into a party and talk to anybody, and then.
That's crazy. That's like such a. I hope that everybody else looks at me like that. I hope that that's the same, but I don't think they do.
And it was it was just like a mix of intimidation and awe. And I don't get intimidated by people. I don't really give a shit. I just remember being like, I don't have an in with, like, I don't know how to. And then I always was like, I always thought like we should be friends, but she can wear a cardigan and I don't know how to do that.
You have a cashew right on your lip.
Fine. Good. Building my brand. I have flaws. I'm authentic. Doesn't matter. I'm not perfect. I'm
Okay,
like
then
you.
fucking put it back
I'm
on.
relatable.
You know what? Do it with your pussy out. That thing that hangs out that you said.
This is what it looks like. It's about this big.
No, yours looks like.
This is what my vagina looks like.
No, yours probably looks like it's more like.
That is kind of true.
No.
That is what it looks like.
No, hers looks like this.
No! What is that? A growth?
No, the thing that sticks out.
Mine? No, it's like
Your vagina's like this.
it's like that. No, it's like a like. It is like no, it's like this.
What?
No, if my lips are your vagina lips, this is your thing.
Why does my vagina have like a weird skin tag on it? Why can't it? It's round.
This is based off your description.
It literally looks like this. I'm not even kidding.
But you have to look at it upside down. Hold on. You see this?
Why are we trying to get it in the mic as if?
Hold on, I got it. No, I'm trying to get in the camera. So you're seeing it. You're looking at me like this.
I feel like I should just step out and take the call from your publicist now.
They don't even know I'm doing this. I just ate your vagina.
That's probably a good thing.
Okay, wait.
I feel like I'm gonna get a very stern email from them tomorrow.
So you want veneers? You like your teeth, but you're getting veneers? What are you gonna do?
You have. I'm gonna go on record. You have maybe my favorite set of teeth.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have really good teeth.
Yeah.
You guys, there's some of them are crooked on the
No, that's
bottom
why.
of it.
That's why.
Oh wow.
I agree.
Somebody said once, like one person on Twitter that I think I remember, they're like, Olivia went and got like veneers, and I was like, no, I didn't, but thank you for thinking
That's when
that.
people tell me I got plastic surgery. I'm like, thank you so much.
In Magic Mike, there's a shot of me. It's like after Channing and I, our characters had sex, and then the camera's coming up this way, and I was watching in the premiere, and I had no idea. I remember a long time ago, a dentist told me like, well, your teeth on top, they're a bit crooked if you wanted to fix that. But I thought he was talking about the ones on the side that I was like, I'm fine with that. I don't mind. He's like, okay. But then I saw with this weird shadow, my teeth up here, like one goes in more. And if you need to go back and watch it, and it just looks like I got just a crooked fence in my mouth.
I have this one tooth, and I was on Invisalign forever. This one tooth, I know it looks like nothing, And I don't talk about it much because I don't want it to be like, I'm the person like pointing out my flaws. Like I'm good.
But I noticed it. It's that tooth. I'm
It's
just kidding.
this
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It's this one. It distracts from the lines on my neck. This one, in certain photos, like on red carpets, it looks like I'm missing this tooth. Like it casts a weird shadow and it looks like I'm missing a tooth. So I haven't been wearing my Invisalign, but
Have you ever seen people whose teeth don't line up with their nose? Like this part doesn't line up.
Never thought about it.
No.
But now it's all I'm
Like,
going to think
over
about.
here.
Whoa, I know. I notice when people's eyebrows don't line up with this part of their eye. Like your eyebrow is supposed to, if you take a pen here.
Yeah, it's supposed to start here.
It's supposed to, yes. So I used to pluck my eyebrows like to here and it makes you look crazy, but it's supposed to line up to here. I do notice symmetry of eyebrows, but that's really it. But I have wild teeth.
You have good teeth.
Your teeth are excellent. I like this one little snaggle tooth on the right.
Don't call it a
Oh,
snaggle
sorry.
tooth.
Like this one right here is so good. I hate it when people do that. They're like, I love your imperfections. Like, I love how your teeth just started.
They
started
rosacea.
insulting you. It's like people say to me, they'll be like, Whitney, like the backhanded compliments. They'll be like, I love that you like don't even care what you look like. I'm like, I actually do, but thank you. Like, I love your you don't even care what you wear. I'm like, yeah, I put a lot of thought and effort into this, but thank you.
Why can't we say things that, you can't, like, I know you're not supposed to like nitpick about like things that it's not like it's obnoxious for you to, if you were like, I'm fat because you're not fat, but like it should be okay that we're like, I don't like this, like my, that my teeth look like this sometimes.
Yes.
It should be okay. Like without people being like, oh, you're body shaming yourself and you're hurting us because I have that same crooked tooth. It's like, so what? Your crooked tooth looks nice. Mine does not.
I'm grandfathered in. I'm 37. I'm allowed to not like myself. I didn't have the inspirational quotes. I didn't have Jay Shetty, whatever. I didn't have all the like. I get to still have low self-esteem.
Well, that's a little far. I don't have low self-esteem. You know what what I realized something the other day, difference between low self-esteem and low self-worth, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
Because I think low self-worth will keep you in relationships that you shouldn't be in.
That's
low
right.
but you can have high self-esteem and low self-worth.
That's right. And you can have a lot of confidence and low self-esteem. I just ate one nut and look how much smarter I got. No, and I think it's important that people realize with this self-esteem, I always want to remind people when people are like, well, how do you like get high self-esteem? You have to do esteemable actions. So it's also like a daily thing. Like esteem, you don't just like have it or you don't.
It's
like
work.
You can build it
Confidence
over
takes
time
work.
and you can't stay clean on the shower you took yesterday. Like what are you doing today for others to build your self-esteem and self-worth, And that's like a daily practice.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It seems exhausting.
You're not just like, I have self-esteem and I'm done, I'm fixed. It's like every day, like, what are you doing? Like, lying corrodes your self-esteem. Selfish actions corrode your self-esteem. Gossip corrodes your self-esteem. Like, these are things that actively attack, like death by a thousand cuts,
That's
your
true.
self-esteem. And saying no to things that are beneath you builds your self-esteem. Like, who was I talking to? It was that person that was like, she's like, I don't know if I should go on this thing or not. And I don't know. And I was like, say no to something that is abusive to you or destructive to you, because that's how you build your self-worth. When you stand up for yourself, then you get to have pride and self-esteem. All right, I love you.
So we're going to hang out?
Don't ride elephants. Adopt, don't shop. You know the deal.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, can you also throw in don't swim with dolphins in hotels?
Yeah, don't. I mean,
In hotels?
I hope
You know, in
that's-
all those fancy hotels, they always like swim with dolphins. Those dolphins have been captured and they like live their life
No.
in these like, you
They live
cannot.
I
longer.
relate to that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's like one of the most horrible
Don't
things
swim with
to me.
dolphins. We're adding that. Don't
It's
ride
always
elephants.
abuse. Sorry, I know it's hard to hear.
We have a lot
and
of-
if you've already done it, that's okay. Just don't do it again.
Yeah, and then take your pictures down so don't promote it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly
Also, we
right.
have a lot of special treats coming out later. You'll see them in the merch store.
Oh God.
Y'all have a merch store?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want some merch?
No,
What's in the
leave me
merch?
alone.
Oh,
What
can't
merch is
have it.
there?
Excuse me.
I want to know. I want to see what y'all are making.
How like swampy I am.
Well, we're making them.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Oh, wait, we're going.